No, how does he know that the guy from Maine is a real surveyor? That's what I'd like to know, people.
Oh, so you think he's lying?
How do
How is he
you
lying?
know? How do you know? I'm telling you why I think he's a lying shit and not a real surveyor. Because a real surveyor would have noticed that the horizontals aren't the same, and they'd have said, "Shit, I don't think I'll put that out as a video because it'd make me look like I'm not a real surveyor." How do you know he is?
That was the point of the video, was to show that they're not horizontal, wasn't it?
So that they're not horizontal.
That was the point of the video. That was the point of the video.
What are you talking about?
Keep talking, people. Keep talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the point of the video, was it not?
What, to show that the two tools that are at the same height have got a different horizontal through the eyepiece? That was the point of the video, yeah?
Are we talking about the same video?
Come on, people, answer the question.
Are we talking about the same video?
We must be. Yeah, you've just said that was
Maine.
the point of the video, that he made a video to prove that horizontals aren't the same. Whenever you set the horizontal and different tools up next to each other, then that's the video he did. And I don't think it was called that, but I mean, if that's what you want to say.
He did that.
I think it was across the water. Yeah.
No.
I think now
in
across the water, wasn't it?
That was Blue who did that, I think.
No, it was Guy from Maine.
People. Do you remember
was
the main question? How do you know that the main surveyor is an actual licensed surveyor? That was the real question. Have you answered that yet?
No, yes.
Then please, how do you know it?
I don't.
Ah.
But you know what? I trust him.
Thank you.
You trust him even though he's got on video that he can't set his tools up properly?
No,
You just
That's a claim you guys have.
It's on video.
That's a Bev claim.
It's on video.
Not worth the powder to blow it up.
Wow.
And you just said he was a surveyor. You knew he was a surveyor like 5 minutes ago.
Well, I think this all came from mocking the concept of this radius of a square. And we determined that the radius of a square has value and is a useful mathematical or geometric method of doing things.
That's ridiculous. Squares don't have radiuses.
Don't take advice from fools. Everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
The surface of the earth is curving.
It does, it curves all over the place. We measure elevation changes. Yes. We can measure them with an auto level.
Elevation. If you knew more about surveying than what you think is going on, you would understand that there's a difference between curvature and elevation.
Have you done surveying? Are you a surveyor, people?
No, I haven't.
No,
I haven't, but I refer to people who have actually done it.
Right, so which people are these that you're referring to?
Geodetic surveyors and people
Which
who
ones?
actually surveyed. And
Which
the manuals that they create.
I've talked to them too,
and they write.
I bet I've talked to more surveyors than you.
And what have they told you?
That level is horizontal, every one of them.
No. And again, every one of them knows that level and horizontal are two different things, Bev.
Never take advice from fools. Everything that they do is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Have you ever posted anything that was the main surveyor's information, D-Ball?
Of course, because he's an actual surveyor.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
So when he does his measurements over 1,500 feet and says he's getting 1 arc second, you think that's honest?
Sure. Why not? Why wouldn't it be?
Well, that's why Bev went out to do a 500-meter test to see what you could see.
Did he? Okay, so where are the measurements from that test? And is there a video? Because none of us have seen it.
He did it live on this one.
So parts of it will look like it's got the radius of a circle, while other parts will look like it's got the radius of a square.
The radius of a square.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
I mean, I totally understand what Sean did. He spiraled himself. He knows that sometimes you're dishonest, and he thought you were like trying to troll him, trying to prove stuff. So he just went straight in.
Name
trying to
one
debunk
thing.
nothing.
Name one thing. Is dishonest with.
Oh, you say canals are water levels.
Well, they are. They show the level of water.
Okay.
Try again. Another one.
Yeah. Any more?
No, that's it.
Canals are water levels.
That's
They
a
show
disgrace.
You can't believe
level
that.
of
But
water.
I'm going to carry on thinking you're dishonest.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit bad, right?
That's all
Dawn?
on you, Dawn.
Like, I hope you don't go round saying that to. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you do. You say that to everyone all the time, don't you?
I always call out lies, yeah, once or twice. I just try and be polite with it sometimes if I have to.
And
I'll
you
try
think
again.
the
Another
lie is
thing.
something to do with a canal not having a water level or not being a water level.
Inflated nature with an archaic tool.
Do you know what a lock's for at the end of a canal, Dawn?
I don't do quizzes.
No. It's to swap the levels so you can get from one level of the canal to the other level of the canal in your boat. So is that dishonest saying that?
But when I
Or
asked,
would it be
what are you
dishonest
measuring,
to say that that's being
you got a bit
dishonest?
angry.
Okay,
Or
look,
you saw the light.
seeing the source.
You saw the light. You didn't see the light. You saw the light.
Saw the light. Yeah.
The light, which is spread out and isn't a pinpoint thing, especially when you're using an iPhone flashlight, which is designed to have a wide pattern to it. So I don't see what that says either way.
Okay.
Well, just to clarify, Travis, I understand. You saw the light, right?
Yeah.
That's what it
yeah.
says to me. No big deal.
Don't take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
The definition of radius requires a circle or sphere, does it not?
No, it does not.
We're talking about a curve, the radius value given by the radius, right? Because you say that, everyone knows what you mean. Nobody thinks square when anybody says there's a curvature with the radius of or go and make a radius of this, right? Go and make a curve, an archway with the radius of this. Nobody makes a square fucking arch, do they? You're crazy. Just back down, man. This is ridiculous. You're showing your sophistry. And it's ridiculous because you go into mathematics and geometry to do it. You can't do that.
Take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain. Never take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they do is in vain.
Well, I'll be quick. They planned on their tool abuse adventure before they even had the tool.
So if you wanted to draw up a square within a polar coordinate system, then you'd need to be able to define the radius of a square. No, I'm not putting more than one word, more than one meaning to a word. What I'm doing is I'm showing that your definition isn't the widely accepted one within geometry.
I think it's the other way around, bud.
It's the other way around, buddy.
Yeah. This is a tactic you guys have done like throughout history is pervert the linguistics we use to hide behind these words and just kind of act as if there's nothing to see here and we've got it all figured out. But see right through that bullshit, man.
Don't take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain. Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
No, I'd rather you go out and actually prove that the Earth is not curving.
No, we're just
With your
showing
measurements.
people what it looks like through an
so
auto
you're not-
level, people. There's no
showing
need for
you-
you to get upset about
When
it.
you go out there.
Yes, you can define a square within a polar coordinate system using the radius of a square, which will be a function of the angle.
Well, why is there so many sites, science sites and math sites that cite the topic of radius of a square?
The level is not curved at all, is it? Can't they have a curve in it? Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
And I was the one who said that you can talk about the radius of a square.
Level follows the curvature of the Earth, and horizontal is a straight line that is tangent to the surface.
Don't take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Within geometry, this is a valid way of using the word radius.
What is your point then? What was it that you were trying to get across to us? That we all live in Euclidean three-dimensional space. We have an XY coordinate system with Z being the other dimension, right? So a two-dimensional square grid on the floor where squares fit, and elevation measured on the other axis, right? That is literally three-dimensional Euclidean space.
For the last bit here, I've been defending Euclidean space from Dice though, because he's been complaining about it being a concept and all.
But you do agree that we live in Euclidean space, right?
Yeah.
Never take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain. Never take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they do is in vain.
Does it change anything like a square would change with its R value?
No.
Because a square doesn't have an R value, does it?
It does.
B-Ball, let me explain to you before you go off the rails. What they did a couple of days ago, bro, is this. And they said it before they did it. They went out with an auto level, they had a camera on it. The objective was to show the people, like myself.
Well, by your standard, all of Euclidean space is a concept. So yes, of course, the point of origin is also a concept, because it's within the concept of Euclidean space.
Euclidean space is not a concept.
Don't take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain. Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Are you sure circumference is only for circles?
Yeah, that's true, that.
Yeah.
Do you guys not realise yet you're arguing with somebody who's just going to make shit up?
Well, I want him to answer this question.
We can't.
You're right.
So was there not a video of your last test?
Test?
What
Nobody
last
did a
test?
test.
We did it live. The last one we just did was a sight test to see how far you can
Not talking
see
about that one.
through an auto level over a
Not asking
distance
about that
from
one.
0 to 500 meters.
I'm not asking about that one.
That was the last
That's the
test
one
we
we're
did.
talking
though.
about.
That's the last test, right?
saw that.
Which one are you
I
talking
saw that
about,
one, yes.
people?
The one where you went out to the canal.
There's so many tests.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've done loads.
That one.
take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
But never looked through an auto level. Now I can say I know what it looks like. That's all they did. They didn't go there to measure anything, to prove anything. Do you understand, B-Ball?
Yeah, I understand. So what's the point?
What do you think about 3 mil? Do you reckon you could see 3 mil at that distance?
Why are you asking me that?
Because it's been claimed that somebody can measure 3 mil at 500 meters. Do you think you could, Sean? You could?
Yeah,
Nice.
I think I could.
People, while we're on that subject, there's a question I've been asking you that you've been running from. What tools do geodetic surveyors use?
Never take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they say is in vain. Never take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they do is in vain.
Look at it.
You can see, okay, perfect. I can see that I can measure and I can be able to distinguish between a meter.
Yeah.
I can't see the numbers, I can't see the hash mark, but I know I can distinguish between a meter on that stick at that distance, right?
Right. Will you sit through the proof that goes beforehand? Before that, right? Then you know when we go out and do the test, you know what you will be looking for. Do you think you could do that?
No, where you proved that level was horizontal. Remember that one? Where you proved that level was horizontal. Remember that one? Where you proved that level was horizontal. Remember that one?
Don't take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
The rest of the world says the surface of the sphere is two-dimensional, except for you guys.
Ted, or anybody, have you ever seen a measuring rod that surveyors use? Because it doesn't just have little notch marks on it. It also usually will have like a red mark at its foot or something that indicates a foot.
But just because you're talking about a radius doesn't mean you're talking about a circle. The same way that if you're talking about a pie, you have crust, but just because you have crust doesn't mean you have pie. That's the analogy. It's simple logic, and I don't see how you guys don't understand it.
Numbers are right here. It's just as easy as 1, 2, 3. You have to open your mind. Imagination is all you need. Don't take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they say is in vain.
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
A constant R value is that of a sphere. A change in R value will make up whatever the change is defined as.
Okay, so how many of them are first order measurements?
Who gives a fuck?
What sort of a sphere do you mean? Do you mean like a ball?
No, like a fucking square.
Everything is relative to you. You just have to say it in generality.
The radius of the square would be
Like those straight lines are curving. Drive down the road, don't you ever swerve. And I don't know where all of this goes. Never take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they say is in
the
vain.
radius of the square would be
Never take advice from fools. 'Cause everything that they do
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your head. I tell you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
No, I refer to the experts. I don't refer to you. So you're telling me that with that, you can't tell, you wouldn't be able to put the crosshairs at a half a meter. You wouldn't be able to put your crosshairs halfway between both yellows.
I know the game that you're playing, and I know exactly what's on your mind. You got your playbook, it's alright. Your model dictates what you will find, and I don't know where all of this goes. Don't take advice from fools, 'cause everything that they say is in vain. Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
I don't think we should downplay that the R value can now go into any shape.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see a centimeter mark.
How many feet?
But you'll be able to see.
How many feet's 500 meters?
1,500 feet.
Well, the thing is, you guys create your own ideas of the definitions.
Yeah, when I have a chance to actually sit on my computer and do all that again.
Do all that again? You never did it.
Explaining. I know, but when I realize it, I just don't have time to get on my computer and sit here and repeat myself over and over again about simple things. But I'll do it.
Okay.
Just not right now.
It's not just me. Everybody, there's more people than just me want to see it.
Well, it's everyone that is involved in your server that plays that game. And when realistically, it's a very simple thing.
Oh, Sean, we've been after it for 2 years and nobody's give us anything yet.
Okay. Your opinion.
Well, not my opinion. It's just it's all documented. Nobody's give us anything.
Documented to be your opinion. Something so simple you make into a big deal, and it's really not. It's your water level cited. If I have to show your presentation to explain that, then I guess that's what it needs for you to understand it. But it's a pretty simple situation.
To be honest, Sean, I'm looking forward to that too.
In Montreal, you'll be someone that I would actually be interested in having the conversation with.
Cool. Make sure I'm there. Make sure you DM me when you're doing it.
I definitely will, my friend.
Oh, did you get a chance to see any of the stuff we did at the weekend when we did that?
No, I don't. I'm not in your server.
No, we did it here.
Oh no,
we did it on this server.
No, you didn't. Remember, you said you were going to message me when you were, so I could try to be here. But other than that, I don't really need to. I already know what you really did.
Well, what did we do then?
It's either complete dishonesty or lack of understanding of how to what tools are due and used for in situations. But other than that, it's kind of getting repetitive hearing how you guys talk about it. So I don't really need to. I kind of already know that you're conflating things and moving things around and making terms that you think sound good for your argument, which makes no sense still. But yeah.
Do you know what we did at the weekend?
Nah, not offhand. I don't. Okay. But I can already assume it has nothing to do with figuring out whether or not curvature is there or not.
Okay. Well, what we did was we went out.
I don't really care.
And set up an auto level. Sure.
That's so cute. And then you couldn't see a centimeter a mile away. I know.
Put a camera to the eyepiece. We put that account into Discord, displaying its optics, right? So the optics from the auto level came in. I was out there holding the measuring rod, Sean. We did it live on Discord. Now you weren't here. Wait a minute. Let me Sean, let me finish. And I'll tell you what we were doing, right? I just got the point of us setting up the auto level. putting a
Okay,
camera
how far
on it.
away were you? Yeah, okay, that's. I don't know why you need to say that. I mean, that's. How far away were you, Beth?
When I was setting it up, I was really close. I was like right on it.
How far away did you sight it from? How far away were you? The furthest away you were from the auto level, how far were you?
I got the measuring rod, right? And we went.
How far away?
We did
why can't you
30
just answer that
meters.
question?
We did 50
Sean,
meters.
Sean, can you just stop talking over him for a minute? Just let him speak. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to talk. You're just constantly just saying the same shit. Wait, please.
Yeah, we got the auto level up. Set it up, Sean. We did the 2-peg test, obviously, as you do. And then we set it up, put the camera on it, and then I walked with the measuring wheel 30 meters. I stopped. We took a picture. Everybody checked it. Everybody that was in here made sure that they could read whatever it was that they were reading. Because I wasn't. I was holding the measuring rod. And I had my other lad following us with the camera. So we had 2 cameras. One you could watch me with the measuring rod, and the other one you were looking through the auto level. So 30 meters, 50 meters, 75 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, 400 meters, and 500 meters. So you could see what you would be able to see with an auto level, looking through it over every one of those distances. You could, and anyone could have done. When all they had to do was be in this Discord room.
Well, I didn't know, Bev, so that's why I wasn't here for it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have probably come anyway, would you? Because you obviously know everything, don't you? Anyway.
What? Oh, so because I think I know everything, I should have known you were doing that. Oh, okay.
Well, that's what it seemed like a minute ago before Bev was talking.
I told you everyone the night before. We told everyone when we were in here doing it.
Was I here when you said it? So then how would I assume that you were doing it or know that you were doing it?
Because we said it was an event on this server. Did nobody publicise it for you?
No, I didn't see it. I probably was busy
next time.
on
So
Discord.
What do you think we could do better next time? Next time we do something like that, Sean? To make sure more people come and see it, because that's what we want. We want people to be able to come in and have a look for themselves.
So it's recorded on Geos, right?
I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Oh, okay. Well, usually people record these things so when people aren't there, they can watch it. But it's here nor there, so okay.
Yeah. Well, you could do it next time, couldn't you? You could come and record it, couldn't you? Is that what we would do? Do you think that would be better? Yeah. We get more people to come and watch it, then they can record it for themselves, and they can ask questions about it.
Relevant tests to the conversation, but okay.
Are you not interested in what the findings were at all? Considering that's what you're going to be doing in your test, isn't it? Something similar.
Well, I'm sure I could sit here and listen to you conflate what's happening and how you couldn't see.
Conflate. It was here. Everyone could see it. There's no conflating.
No.
Could I ask a question, Sean?
Hey, what's up, Buster?
Hey, man. Like, Bev set his equipment up, did a 2-peg test to check his accuracy, took a measuring wheel with a measuring rod, and put we watched it on the crosshairs. Was there something wrong with that?
No. Sounds legit.
Okay.
Well, why are you getting weird about it then?
I'm not getting weird about it.
You said conflating. What did you say conflating for? What's conflated when you're looking for an auto level with a fucking camera attached to it?
Okay. Then
on a live stream.
Okay. So at 100 meters, how accurate what were you able to see?
At 75 meters, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, you could still read the centimeter numbers. I think past that, all you could read couldn't read the centimeter marks anymore. Actually, the numbers for it. You could still see the markers, though.
Do you not think it would be better, though, rather than describing it with words, that you could see the picture?
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to.
It's easy for me to ask. Were you able to see within a foot? So from 1 foot to 2 foot, for instance?
It was meter measuring rod.
Yeah, but there's feet in there. So, I mean, were you able to see within a... So you couldn't see the centimeter hash mark. Were you able to see from 1 foot to another foot?
So I'm saying it with a metric rod.
Okay. It doesn't have foot markings on it?
Centimeters, meters.
It doesn't have any foot markers, like 1 foot, 2 foot.
Well, it wouldn't if it was metric.
Why metric doesn't have feet in it? That you can't add it to a foot? So this is okay. So this is what I assumed, and I was obviously correct. Okay, you don't need at 500 meters. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see a centimeter mark.
How many feet's
but
that?
You'll be able to see.
How many feet's 500 meters?
1,500 feet. Like why? Okay, are you so?
Does your 1,500 feet have meters on it?
Never mind.
Does it?
Does my 1,500 feet have what? Bev, a 1 meter stick ruler has so you can put 3 foot markings on it. 1, 2, 3. Again, at 500 meters, you're not going to see a centimeter mark.
Have you ever seen a measuring rod?
No, Bev, and this is why I don't do this.
Have you ever seen a
really,
metric?
Bev, I've ever seen wow, really? Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a metric measuring rod?
Okay. This is exactly why I get like I do and say conflating things, because at 500 meters, you can distinguish between 1 foot and 2 foot on an R level at 500 meters. But if you didn't try to do that, then what's the point? No one ever said, why would you try to see a centimeter mark at 500 meters? Why?
Well, even at the 200 meters, you couldn't even read the numbers for the meters.
Okay. Now, Bev, or anybody, have you ever seen a measuring rod that surveyors use? Because it doesn't just have little notch marks on it. It also usually will have like a red mark at a foot or something that indicates a foot. So at 500 meters...
If you can't read the numbers, Sean, sorry, mate. If you can't read the numbers, then how do you know what foot it is?
Okay, let's get one more time. On a, say, measuring rod, it doesn't just have notches. It has notches, and then at every foot, it'll have a thick notch, like a thicker red line, so you can see it from further away. So if you're not trying to see the centimeter mark, you'll be able to distinguish between 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. That's what I'm asking. But I can already tell, and this is why I said that, what I said, is you didn't even try to see that. You were trying to see if you could see a notch at 500 meters, which is pointless.
Can I just point out here, Sean? My measuring rod is metric. It does not have feet on it. Feet is imperial, not metric. Metric measuring rods don't have feet on them.
Okay. Well, this is why I wasn't really interested in the test, because if you're trying to see little centimeter hash marks at 500 meters, it's pointless, and you're not showing that at our level can measure something at 500 meters if you're using it correctly.
Sean, all we did was put a camera on an auto level so everyone could see what you see through the auto
but
level.
You can't see a centimeter notch. Okay.
If you'd have been here,
Yeah,
like next time you can come, right? We'll see if we can find some pictures for
100
you.
meters. Hey,
I'll see what I can find for you. Here
Bev,
you go,
the
Sean.
next time you're going to do this again, next time we're doing this again, you can DM me the time and where you're going to do it, and then maybe I'll show up. But if I don't know, if I'm not there for the announcement, then how am I supposed to know? And then don't act like, oh, well, you missed it, so then it doesn't matter. Because you've already explained the test. And I understand exactly what you did. It's like you took a 1 foot little foot rod and went 500 meters away and went, look, you can't see an inch. Okay, yeah, good. You can't see an inch. Doesn't mean you can use it at 500 meters, especially if you know what you're doing. Who uses a rod that doesn't have the notches on it at 500 meters? That does.
What? Here you go. Have a look.
If you wanna make a precise measurement, you really do need to see, the increments on the rod.
There you go, Sean.
Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you all right with that?
Okay, so
Can you see that picture,
okay,
Sean?
so on your rod, yeah, I can see the picture.
Okay.
So from where you're holding it to the red part of that pole, so I'm assuming that's still the same part of it, right? Right?
The yellow bit. Or what you talking
Well,
about?
it looks red on mine. But
So yeah, that's a problem, isn't it?
okay, where your hand, so it's yellow. What's behind it? Or better yet, how tall is it?
Blackpool Tower is behind it.
No. How tall is the rod, the little stick you're holding?
The little stick's a measuring rod.
How tall is it?
The numbers are on it. Can you read them? Let's just have a read.
Okay, I'm asking you how tall is the measuring rod you're using?
It's probably about 14 feet.
Okay, and in that 14 feet, I see it yellow, it goes white, and then it goes red again, right?
It goes yellow, white, and then yellow again.
Okay, it looks red to me. But anyway, what's the distance between the yellow and the yellow again?
It's a meter. It's a meter measuring rod.
Okay, perfect. So you're telling me that with that, you can't tell, you wouldn't be able to put the crosshairs at a half a meter. You wouldn't be able to put your crosshairs halfway between both yellows.
No, I can't adjust the crosshairs. It's an auto level, Sean.
No. Okay.
It sounds like George. George does that.
Well, because you clearly are complaining.
You just fucked
what you're
up.
looking
You
at.
know you
Okay,
can't move the
so,
crosshairs.
Yeah. So yes, I understand that.
Why
Bev.
did you say
so
that
what
you
I'm
should?
asking you is, would you be able to see a half a meter between the two yellows?
Sean,
you wouldn't be able to see that.
We're showing you what you can see.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. Don't ask me what we can see. Look at it.
You can see. Okay, perfect. I can see that I can measure, and I could be able to distinguish between a meter.
Yeah.
I can't see the numbers. I can't see the hash marks, but I know I can distinguish between a meter on that stick at that distance, right? So you're telling me that the auto level is inaccurate in doing so because you can't see your numbers.
It's what we've
or
been
you can't
saying
see the
all
hash
along,
charts.
Sean.
Okay. Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. Period.
Okay.
Because the reason that measuring rod is different in colors than that is to be able to distinguish that distance. So at 500 meters, you can distinguish a meter. You can distinguish a half a meter. You can distinguish a quarter meter. You may not be able to see the numbers, but you can still distinguish the heights or elevations on that stick. You still can.
Yeah.
So
how-
if you're trying to if you're trying to get to a millimeter notch at 500 meters, you're right. You're not going to be able to. I've said that before, but you still can use it. Your crosshairs still shows you your zero all the way to that tower.
What do you think about 3 mil? Do you reckon you could see 3 mil at that distance?
Why are you asking me that?
Because it's been claimed that somebody can measure 3 mil at 500 meters. Do you think you could, Sean?
Yep.
You could?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I could.
Oh, cool. So that'll be how accurate you will be with your tool when you
see.
do your test, right?
We'll see. But I
Brilliant.
do know that I'm not trying to get within a centimeter of something at 500 meters. So, yeah, Bev, you've shown at 500 meters, you're not going to be able to see a centimeter mark. Okay. Is that all you were trying to do?
All we were trying to do is to show everybody what you see through an auto level. We don't want to lie to anybody. We want everyone to see exactly what they see through an auto level.
Okay.
So that's it.
What you've shown is at 500 meters, you can distinguish between a meter, a half meter, even a quarter meter easily. How? because you already said between your two yellow areas is 1 meter. With that rod, I can easily distinguish between a half a meter, a quarter, even a quarter meter, easily, right? You can do that.
Yeah. What?
From 500 meters,
Yeah.
you can see your horizontal from that auto level to your story pole, right?
Could you get within arc second?
Nope. No. See, no, that wasn't my question. My question is in your auto level, can you see where your horizontal, your 0 is on that story pole?
You look at it, Sean. Can you? Stop asking stupid questions. Can you see it?
Your test. Can you distinguish the horizontal you've created with that auto level on the story pole? Can you?
I can see the horizontal crosshairs in that picture. Can you?
Perfect. Okay.
Can you, now, Sean? Can you see it in that picture?
Since you can't answer honestly, and
you're not answering it honestly. Can you see that horizontal? You've just asked us the same question. It's only fair.
Here's what it is, Bev. You are purposely you're purposely being deceiving about it. Yeah.
Purposely being deceiving about showing you a picture of what we did.
Okay.
What's deceiving about it, Sean?
On that story pole, would you be able to put a mark on that story pole that represents the horizontal you've created with the auto level?
To what accuracy, Sean?
For instance, okay, if you had a walkie-talkie, because you don't have to say anything else about it, and someone said you put your hand on that story pole and you were going to show on that story pole where the 0 from the auto level is, would you be able to distinguish that? Would you be able to put a red ribbon around where the crosshairs hits that story pole?
I think I've got a picture of me doing just that because somebody asked
Perfect.
us.
Okay. I'll wait.
Yeah, we were watching it. He said, "What can you read?" And we were trying to distinguish it. He put his finger on the place where we thought it was. I mean, nobody's trying anything.
Okay.
Anybody.
Are you able to establish where that horizontal 0 is on the story pole?
Over that distance?
Yes.
No, Sean. How hard is it? I don't even know where it is. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Look. How about that? Is that good? There's me putting my finger. What do you reckon you can see, Sean? Or do you want a little bit of pink ribbon or something to tie round it? Bit of sticky tape.
I think he left.
Ah, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
Oh, so what was deceptive about any of that?
Mm-hmm. Said
Like
we were going to go out there and put a camera on it so everyone can see. Went out there, put a camera on an auto level so everyone could see. I walked away. We measured it at the distance. We stopped. Everyone could see what it looked like through the thing.
What did you measure?
I was holding the measuring rod. The measuring gets done by the people on this side of the auto level. It could have been you. You could have measured it all for yourself.
I'm asking, what were you measuring?
You were looking at the auto level, right? Through the auto level at the measuring rod.
Sorry if the question's too hard. Sorry.
Measuring rod, done. The measuring rod. That's what you look at and you measure. You measure the measuring rod, right?
Okay, you're measuring the rod.
Yeah, the numbers. That's what we were doing. So you could see what it looked like through an auto level.
Rod? And you measured it?
I didn't. I was holding it.
Oh, how long was the rod when someone else measured it?
Well, no, ask them. Everybody else is here.
As best I remember, Don, at 75 meters, I think it was maybe closer. You could see the centimeter numbers and the marks.
Which rod was 75 meters long?
That's not what I said.
That's what I asked. How long was the rod that you measured?
It's adjustable, Dawn. It can be made as long up to
It
5
can go
meters.
to a maximum of 5 meters. Have a look at that. Can you
So
measure that, John? Don,
You
can
measured
you measure
a rod
that?
to be 5 meters.
Can
That's
you
what
measure
you've done.
that?
Why are you obfuscating, Dawn? Why are you being so...
Can you answer my question? What did you
Why are
measure?
you being so
that day?
obtuse?
What did
did
you
we
measure
measure?
that day? Yeah.
What
He
did
had
we
a measuring
measure?
wheel. He measured
We
the distance
measured
he went out.
what we could see on the measuring rods. And as Buster said, we had a measuring, or Bev had a measuring wheel.
You measured
and
like
he
the
was able
distance.
to measure how
measured,
far
like-
out he was going.
Okay, you measured how far out you went and the stuff that you were looking at.
Exactly.
And what did that tell you? What did the measurements tell you after you got them?
What do the measurements tell us?
Yeah.
How far you could see the rod, how far you could actually get an accurate measurement at a distance.
Cool. How far was it?
Yeah, you can have a look at this, Dawn. There you go.
Oh my god, I can't look at that.
No, exactly. You won't look at that.
Just tell me the distance, how far you managed to see.
It says it
I'll
on
believe
all of them. You can look for yourself.
You can see for yourself, Dawn.
You can see what you can see at those distances because we measured
let
them
me zoom
and
in
somebody
quick.
took a picture every time we did it. So, well done. You could have been here and asked of us what
At
to do.
200 meters, you can still see a few of the marks, right? That's what I'm getting from this.
But can you read the measuring rod, Dawn?
No, I reckon at 200 meters,
well,
I could
well done.
guess.
Yeah, you could guess. But that's not a measurement, is it?
No, it's not a
That's
full measurement.
It's a guesstimation, isn't it, Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not very accurate, is a
How
guesstimation.
accurate would your guess be?
What camera are you using?
It's looking through the auto level, Dawn.
Yeah, but so if we got a better camera and a better auto level, can we
No,
say
you
that
just
we could
use
read
your
it at
eye.
100
Use your
100
eyes,
meters?
Dawn.
Can we agree that you might be able to read it at 100 meters?
Oh, can I answer that?
Yeah, go on.
The last time they did it, they had a different camera attached to it, and the quality wasn't as good. This time they set it up different with a different camera on it that actually could zoom. The camera zoomed to the lens, and Geo server is upgraded, so you get the 1080p. So this was the best that I've seen so far when they went out and done this. So to get any better, I don't know. I doubt it.
Let me interrupt for
going
1
with?
second.
50
Sorry,
meters?
guys. Sorry, give me 1 second. Can somebody please verify Christy King? Thank you. Sorry, go ahead. Whoever was talking, my bad.
So, what about
In
50
other words,
meters?
Dawn,
Can you read it at 50 meters? With this
50 meters,
camera?
yes. 50 meters was very clear. You could read the centimeter numbers. Yes.
And what is that? Just
If
that's
you-
all
if
you
you
want?
are- if you're
The fact
looking-
that we
if you're
can
looking
read it
for
at 50 meters,
accuracy-
that you're happy with that as a result.
Yeah, if you're looking for your accuracy, then 50 to 100 meters you can read within a millimeter. Yeah, which is if that's the accuracy you're looking for, then don't go any further than 100 meters. That's what I'd say. So if you've got 200 meters, then you're going to start guessing how many millimeters you can see.
What if the people are okay with guesstimations? If they're fine with it?
Well, Don, there seems to be a contention that a guy went out and did 500 meters and could read 3 centimeters. So that's the problem.
Maybe he guesstimated it from looking at markings, big markings.
Oh
like
no, there's people touting these videos like it's super accurate. He did it.
It's almost like a
you'll have to show me
religion,
that.
wouldn't you
You'll
say,
have to show me
Buster?
that.
Nobody wants to talk about it. They want to post the video and not want to explain it.
Well, I mean, I'll give you. It's nuance looking through tools at the blurred horizons and blurred measuring tools. I'll give sticks. I'll give you.
Nice.
Doesn't
It's
make
good,
us
isn't it?
flat, I'm afraid.
So have you ever looked through an
Who
auto
said
level,
it was, Dawn? Sorry, Bev.
Have you ever looked through an auto level, Don?
No, I'm going to avoid it for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Any argument that you enter into about the auto level is an argument from ignorance on your part then, because you've never looked through an auto level, right?
I think
No, I can't agree.
Beeple would be the
Can't
best
agree to
person
that.
to have this argument, actually.
I can't agree to that.
He's the one with a auto level and misuses it. So, Beeple, speak up.
Is he in here? Oh, he is. Nice.
Come on, Beeple, what you got to say?
All we're saying is that when we set the auto level up, put the camera on it and let you guys have a look, put it through this Discord. That's all we did. Like we didn't come to any conclusions. That's for you guys to do when you look through it and you can see what you can see.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's all right.
That's what we're doing. But I mean, when people come that don't want to come and watch it, and then start arguing about something that they've never even looked at, then I don't know. It's a bit silly, right?
It's fine. I mean, I totally understand what Sean did. He spiraled himself. He knows that sometimes you're dishonest, and he thought you were like trying to troll him and trying to prove stuff. So he just went straight in.
Name
trying
one
to debunk
thing.
Nothing.
Name one thing. Is dishonest with.
Oh, you say canals are water levels.
Well, they are. They show the level of water.
Okay.
Try again. Another one.
Yeah. Any more?
No, that's it.
Canals are water levels.
That's
they
a
show
disgrace,
You can't believe
level
that.
of water.
I'm going to carry on thinking you're dishonest.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit bad, right?
That's all on you, Dawn.
Like, I hope you don't go round saying that to. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you do. You say that to everyone all the time, don't you?
I always call out lies, once or twice. I just try and be polite with it sometimes if I have to.
And
So
you
try
think
again,
the
another
lie is
thing.
something to do with a canal not having a water level or not being a water level.
Inflated nature with an archaic tool.
Do you know what a lock's for at the end of a canal, Dawn?
I don't do quizzes.
No. It's to swap the levels so you can get from one level of the canal to the other level of the canal in your boat. So is that dishonest saying that?
But when I
or
asked,
would it be
what are you
dishonest
measuring,
to say that that's being
you
dishonest?
got a bit angry. I was going to point that out a minute ago. Although you did explain in the end, which I'm glad, and we all agree now, you're just showing us what it looks like through an oil level. It's fine.
Yeah.
But at first, when I said, "What are you trying to measure?" you got a bit angry, like.
No, he didn't.
I didn't get angry.
You did.
What do you measure through an auto level looking at a measuring rod, Dawn? What would you measure?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
that's all on you,
from
Dawn.
ignorance, Dawn.
Well, I was asking. Sorry if it was annoying.
So now you know that when you look through an auto level at a measuring rod, you actually take a reading from the measuring rod. So what is it that you're measuring, Dawn? What do you think now?
So help him.
No, don't help him.
No, well, I mean it's a good point,
Don't do
right?
quizzes.
What is it that you're measuring, Dawn? Come on.
That was my question to you.
Well, now you've had the scenario explained to you. What would you say, Dawn?
Yeah,
I don't care.
Is it too?
Well,
tricky?
why are you interjecting your nonsense into the argument?
You were
Dawn?
measuring what you said you were measuring.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, Dawn, for anybody else that's might wonder what they are measuring. You are measuring the distance of the bottom of the measuring rod, a vertical distance, away from the horizontal line of the crosshairs. Up to a point, right? Because at a certain point, refraction starts coming into play, doesn't it? Call it collimation. It's a bit advanced, that, but first off, we want to just do what you can see through an auto level. So, Dawn, you see and you measure the distance the bottom of the measuring rod is away from the horizontal plane that is made by the auto level.
And how far was it?
It changed, didn't it?
I don't know.
Because the sand wasn't at the same level.
So what was the average, whatever?
I wasn't measuring it, Dawn. I was holding the measuring rod. It's not up to
Didn't
me
I tell you?
to measure it.
Look, if you look back at Dawn, if you go and look at that picture, you'll see the distances, and then you'll be able to see the rod in the picture at the distance, and you'll be able to see the difference between the first one, the last one, and see what the difference is, and that's the difference.
You want me to refer back to your meme instead of you telling me?
Yeah, because then you can get it for yourself. You don't need to say we're
I'll
being
pass,
dishonest and not telling you the truth.
I'll pass, thanks.
You look for yourself.
I've got plenty of memes.
Mm-hmm. You want to be able to say you're being dishonest, don't you? Because that's much more fun for you, isn't it?
No, I'm fine. Just poking your edges as you've shown us things.
Thanks for that, Dawn.
Isn't Left Lane supposed to be a surveyor as well? Let's hear his opinion. Seeing as Beeble won't speak up, he's got the tools.
Let's hear anyone. Let's hear it. Let's hear it from all these, real knowledgeable people. Let's hear it.
What do you want to hear?
Not from you, Dawn. You've proven that you know fuck all.
I'm asking what you want to hear from them.
Like, Dawn, seriously, like, just don't worry about it. You're obviously not interested whatsoever. You won't even go and look at the things that have been provided.
So me,
You're just not interested. So we're moving on.
Not being interested.
Moving on.
You just said you don't care, Dawn. So let's leave it to the people that have got the knowledge that we're seeking, Dawn. Come on. Just sit down, Dawn, and let the people that have got the knowledge that we are asking for speak for themselves, Dawn.
This is Discord.
Dawn, Dawn's the saviour of everyone. Oh, wait a minute, Howard, come in.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, Don's got as much right to speak as anyone.
Mm.
No, he knows nothing about the subject, and he's admitted that. And he doesn't care about the subject. He's admitted that. But he should just back out.
We're looking for someone that knows a little bit about surveying, and we've heard that a few people in here might just be that person we're looking for.
And it obviously ain't you, Dawn.
Maybe do a private chat with them or something. Or you could try trolling them on Twitter.
Dawn, why don't you just back out, mate? You're lost. Leave it to the people. Leave it to the people that have got the knowledge, Dawn. Leave it to the people that have got the knowledge, Dawn. You obviously haven't.
You've got knowledge. The meme maker.
You obviously haven't, Dawn. I've got more knowledge on this subject than you have. Blatantly obvious.
Oh, yeah, okay. Nice ego.
So back out of the conversation, Dawn.
Ego.
Let the people speak that have got the knowledge that we're asking for, okay?
Why are they not speaking now?
Because they're scared, obviously.
Yeah,
People is scared shitless.
Scared of you holding a measuring rod.
They want somebody who knows nothing about
did you
it
work
to
that
keep
out?
talking,
How did you get to that?
Dude, nobody's scared of you, man. Nobody's scared of you. You're an idiot. You think you know more than actual surveyors, which they're not a surveyor. Doug's not a surveyor. So who has more
That's what
knowledge?
you've got. You're an idiot.
You're
an idiot.
Or guys who just take pictures of measuring rods and think they know more than actual surveyors.
Is that a shite mic?
No, that is a shite mic, and that's B-Ball trying to stick his 2 pennyworth in.
That's what
He's got a
Do you know anything?
you asked for.
Do you know anything about surveying? Anyone in here know anything about surveying? Apart from the people that are already spoken.
Are you a surveyor?
Are you a surveyor?
Come on, man.
People, stutter it out.
Are you a surveyor? Are you a surveyor?
No.
Am I a surveyor?
No. Can we start again?
Let's
ask the question.
I have surveyed. Yes.
Me too.
Okay, so what is it? So when
me
we
too,
look
then.
at manuals and it. Okay, so when we look at manuals and it says you have to account for curvature.
People. Did you write the manual? Did I write the
What are they
manual? Or are
talking
we
about?
talking about somebody else's musings?
Okay, so you deny what surveyors do then. Got it. That's all you guys have. All you do is
Did
deny
you
what-
actually look at the geometry at the front part of the manual, B-Ball? And did you actually go through the geometry
Does it say
in the manual?
curvature and refraction?
No, you didn't.
Does it
So you're
not say
cherry
that?
picking out of the manual,
Okay,
B-Ball.
so it doesn't.
Nice
so
one.
it doesn't say that, does it?
Nice one.
Are you
Cherry
denying
picking.
curvature and
refraction?
What's
Are you denying
curving?
curvature?
Picking from the manual.
What's curving?
Are
B-ball.
we denying curvature and refraction?
B-ball, what is curving?
Okay, so you deny what surveyors actually do then.
B-ball, what's curving?
Right. Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's all you guys do is have denial.
Oh,
What's
there's
curving,
the guy who
B-ball?
won't answer a question.
What's curving? Come on. You keep saying we deny curvature. Well, I can see curves.
Bev.
I don't
Bev.
deny curves. They exist, right? They can be measured with a measuring rod,
Yes,
right?
and that's what
now,
they do, Bev.
B-ball,
Which you
what
continue
is
to deny
curving?
that they do. The surface of the earth is curving.
It does. It curves all over the place. We measure elevation changes. Yes. We
Well
can
done,
measure
people.
them
There is a
with
difference
an
between
auto
curvature
level.
and elevation. If you knew more about surveying than what you think is going on, you would understand that there's a difference between curvature and elevation.
Have you done surveying? Are you a surveyor,
No,
B-ball?
I haven't.
No.
No, I haven't. But I refer to people who've actually done it.
Right. So which people are these that you're referring to?
Geodetic surveyors and people
Which
who
ones?
actually surveyed, and
Which
the manuals
ones?
that they
I've
create.
talked to them too,
and they write.
people. I
And the
bet
entire-
I've talked to more
Yeah,
surveyors than you.
And what have they told you?
That level is horizontal, every one of them.
No, and again,
Yeah.
and everyone in surveying knows that level and horizontal are two different things, Bev. Two different
Only
things.
in your head. Only in your head, people.
No,
They're not
Yes.
two different
every
things.
single manual you look up says
Don't get
level
angry,
is the
people.
Yeah, he is.
As it is.
He is very angry.
Right? Level follows the curvature of the earth, and horizontal is a straight line that is tangent to the surface.
Good job, none of my walls that I build, we're using your bendy level.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a bent level. It either goes back to the calibration shop or it goes in the skip. There's no use for it, people.
So basically, you've never read any kind of surveying literature at all, Bev, have you?
Yeah, I have. Of course I have.
Just today. So what does it say about?
We
what
did it today.
Level? What is it? Okay, so what does it say about level?
Well, it said that they work on a plane. Plane
Where
surveyors
did it
work
say
on a
that?
plane.
Where
That's
does
weird,
it say?
isn't it?
We're talking
Can
about.
you even
geodetic
imagine that?
surveying.
Plane surveyors working
Yeah,
on
we're
a
talking
plane.
about we're not talking about small areas. We're talking about large areas.
We're talking about
not small areas.
Where's the curve start, B-ball? Where's your curve start?
We're talking about
We're
talking about large
does
areas.
your
where the
curve
farther out you
start,
go,
B-ball?
the farther out you go, you have to start accounting for curvature, and that's what
That's not
every
what he asked.
surveying manual
He asked
says.
where
You
it
don't
starts.
account for curvature.
It
You
starts
don't.
immediately.
You
at your
don't.
feet.
Ah, there we go. Immediately.
You don't
Oh,
account
so
for
it-
curvature, B-ball.
So you don't. Oh, you don't.
No.
Well, that's not what surveyors say. That's
No,
not what the
it
manuals
is what
say.
surveyors say because they
No, it's
don't
not.
account for curvature.
Yeah, in small areas, it's so minute you don't have to count for it. We're talking about large areas,
Are
Bev.
these surveyors you've talked to? Are they like YouTube surveyors?
No, we're talking about actual surveyors, like
Discord
the
surveyors.
Society of Geodetic Surveying, the American
Wow.
Society of Geodetic Surveying.
Oh, people, while we're on that subject, there's a question I've been asking you that you've been running from. What tools do geodetic surveyors use?
Why do you keep asking me this rhetorical question?
Because you keep
And if I
going
give
on
you the
about
answer,
Oi,
why does it even matter if I give you the answer?
let me
Because you're
answer
gonna
the
deny it
question,
anyway.
people. Let me answer your question. Because you've been going on about geodetic surveying and
Let me
geodetic
guess.
surveyors.
Here's
I've
your
asked
answer. You ready?
what
Here's
tools
your
they
answer. You
use,
ready?
and
B-ball,
you keep
B-ball,
running.
please
Listen,
let him
stop
finish.
talking. I'm answering.
B-ball.
I'm answering his question.
No,
I'm answering his
he's
question.
still
They use
asking the
theodolite,
question.
They use measuring tape.
Oh, you just
they
don't.
use total stations. They use 3D scanners. They use GPS, GNSS, and they use level and rod. What else would you like?
Okay, so how many of them are first order measurements?
Who gives a fuck?
Oh wow! Yeah, very good.
So that's your answer.
Wow.
Pretty telling.
There's one. If you want to have a listen to that one, people, I've just put it in live stream one. That's where I go up to a surveyor on the side of the street and ask
we've all
him.
heard that.
So if you
I
want to
heard that
hear,
one before.
if you want to hear what a surveyor says when I ask him a question, you can listen to it.
You asked a guy on the side of the road who's probably not accounting for curvature, right?
Mate, we're doing a bit of a project about level with the lad, right? It's horizontal, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing else.
See, I call it vertical because it's up and down.
Well, it's perpendicular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horizontal and vertical. Level is, it's not curved at all, is it?
No, it's flat.
Can't be have a curve in it.
Can't be curved, no, it's flat.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
All right.
So, the water level in the canal.
Yeah.
Horizontal, right?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Because like it goes...
That's what the lock does. The lock changes the level, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So in theory, from one lock to the next, the water level should be the same.
So, like here, the canal goes from Liverpool Locks.
Yeah.
All the way to Apley Bridge.
Yeah.
27 miles.
Yeah.
One level. No locks.
Oh, no locks?
There's no locks from Liverpool all the way. This is the south.
If there's no locks, in theory, it should be level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your water would spill out of it.
I know. Horizontal, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So.
Cheers, mate.
He's surveyor, yeah.
He said level is horizontal.
A guy trying to level a freaking sidewalk.
I ask him, people, I ask him about a 27-mile stretch of canal. In that thing, right? So, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you're not a surveyor. He is.
What did you say? You said it's level, right? Oh, it's horizontal. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't ask him any direct questions. Right? So here's what you should actually do. Call up an actual geodetic surveying company, right? And
advise people. You know absolutely fuck all about anything.
Quiet. I'm not
Why
finished.
are you giving advice?
Go and call an actual geodetic surveyor and ask them, hey, over large distances, does curvature and refraction need to be taken into account?
The level is, it's not curved at all, is it?
No, it's flat.
Can't be have a curve in it.
Can't be curved, no, it's flat.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
All right.
I've got one for you people. Why don't you phone up geodetic surveyors and ask them if first order measurements are important?
Just get him to say that level is curved and horizontal is different.
That is
and
a good one.
deviates from the other. Just get him to anyone to do that.
I'm going to ask them if curvature and refraction need to be taken into account over large areas. That's what I'm going to ask.
Ask them if first order measurements are important as well, people.
What do you think they're going to say?
The level is, it's not curved at all, is it?
No, it's flat.
Can't be have a curve in it.
Can't be curved, no, it's flat.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
All right.
Why is it always curvature and refraction?
Yeah.
Because they go hand in hand.
I wonder why. Why is it always curvature and refraction over large areas? Why is that? I wonder why.
What do you think of first order measurements? What do you think of first order measurements? What do you think of first order measurements? Have you ever done one? You ever measured anything?
He's never measured anything.
Well, apparently you guys haven't, because every time I ask for your actual measurements, they go, oh, we didn't measure anything. But yeah, you're asking, have you measured anything?
Fucking hell. Measurements of what, people?
Honestly, you lot make so much shit up in your heads, I'll tell you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
No, I refer to the experts. I don't refer to you. You guys have,
hey, people, we've measured a measuring rod. We've measured a measuring rod, which is more than you've done.
And you've gone out and you've taken pictures of yourselves with measuring rods. That's all you've done.
It's normally me. I'm the one that holds the measuring rod.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
It's a photo shoot. No, it's a photo shoot with
is that all right? Or would you rather me put my son on camera then you can all meme the shit out of my son.
No, I'd rather you go out and actually prove that the Earth is not curving.
No, we're just showing people what it looks like through an auto level, people. There's no need for you to get upset about it.
When you go out there. So you're basically just going out there and wasting your time and just taking pictures with your auto level.
We was trying to help people that have never seen what it looks like. Yeah, just keep talking.
Not actually proving that the surface of the Earth isn't curving. Is what ultimately what you guys believe. That the Earth is not.
Can you calm down a second, please, people?
Have you ever posted anything that was the main surveyor's information, B-Ball?
Of course, because he's an actual surveyor.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Ooh.
So when he does his measurements over 1,500 feet and says he's getting 1 arc second, you think that's honest?
Sure. Why not? Why wouldn't it be?
Well, that's why Bev went out to do a 500-meter test to see what you could see.
Did he? Okay, so where are the measurements from that test? And is there a video of that test? Because none of us have seen it.
He did it live on Discord.
No, he's talking about the main surveyors. I think he's talking about the main surveyors. He's not even watched that one. That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about yours now. You know what's funny though? You record every other Discord thing, but this particular test you decided not to record. Why is that?
I was out on the fucking canal.
Right.
And it was live on Discord.
Right, and you just decided not to.
And I said I would record it, and actually had some problems with the computer. So therefore I couldn't.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
B-Ball, let me explain to you before you go off the rails. What they did a couple of days ago, bro, is this. And they said it before they did it. They went out with an auto level. They had a camera on it. The objective was to show the people like myself, who has never looked through an auto level. Now I can say, I know what it looks like. That's all they did. They didn't go there to measure anything, to prove anything. Do you understand, B-Ball?
Yeah, I understand. So what's the point? Just to say, hey, this is what an auto level looks like. That's great. It looks like crossing.
Yeah, for the audience. Yeah, for the Discord.
And to demonstrate that 1 arc second, 3 meters is not measurable at any distance over 200 meters. You can't see the measuring rod. You can't measure anything really over 100, 125 meters.
Let alone even thinking about doing an arc second.
I suggest you watch the video, B-Ball. I know you don't like Bev. Just watch the video, pretend he's not there, and you'll
post it right here
for yourself.
Post it in here.
You can't see nothing.
The video you said wasn't there. Yeah, that video you said that wasn't done. Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to apologise for that? Or not?
Post it in the chat, please.
You know where to find it, B-Ball. Jesus, we've got to do everything for you.
Find it.
What video?
I gotta find it.
Wait a minute. What video?
Find for you.
Everybody's getting all.
Yep, post it, please.
Has somebody done a video?
Oh no.
I don't know. What are we talking about? I've not done the video of what we did this weekend. What are you looking for, B-Ball?
They just said it was a video. Was that a
Well, here we go
that was
now.
my fault. No, I thought Bev put it out.
I've not put it out yet. No.
I recorded it for Bev. It was his. He went through all the trouble to go out, and I recorded because Spot On was having trouble. It's his video as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome. I'd like to see it.
You will see it soon, B-Ball. You will see it soon.
Yeah, but there's some pictures of what you could see at the distances. You can have a look at that.
Well, what about the one where you went out to the canal or whatever, and you were taking pictures of the auto level and your measuring rod and your tubes and everything? Where's that video? Where you proved that level was horizontal. Remember that one? That's the video that I want to see, and that's the video that all of us want to see.
Well, we'll do it properly for you, right? We'll make it a big deal. But will you come and watch it? Will you? Will you sit through?
No, I want you.
Will
I want you to do a video
sit
and post it. Record yourself doing it.
Right? Will you sit through the proof that goes beforehand? Before that, right? Then you know when we go out and do the test, you know what you will be looking for. Do you think you could do that?
No, I want you to just
I know.
record yourself doing
No.
it and then post it. Just record yourself doing it and post it. Probably because the time difference and everything.
I'm not going to watch anything you
I'm not
do,
gonna
Bev.
go and I'm not gonna go and
I'm going to run
your
away and
bed.
hide from it. I'm scared
No,
of it.
I'll wait for the video. I'll wait for the video.
Bev, don't do it, Bev. Don't take me through the proofs and then do it practically, Bev. I'm so scared.
Don't make me say that a straight line is not curved.
Are you going to put this
I'll
on
wait for the
DVD? Because
video.
I'm not going to watch the video. I'll wait until it comes out on DVD.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch it at the cinema or watch it live, right? That'd be no
Straight
good.
to DVD.
We don't want adverts either.
So there was there not a video of your last test?
Test?
What
Nobody
last
did
test?
a test.
We did it live. The last one we just did was a sight test to see how far you can see through an auto level over a distance from 0 to 500 meters.
I'm not asking about that one.
Okay, that was the last
That's
test
the one
we
we're
did.
talking about.
That's the last test, right? Which one are you
I
talking
saw that
about,
one, yes.
B-Ball?
The one where you went out to the canal.
There's so many tests.
Yeah, we've done loads.
Yeah.
That one.
How many tests have you done, people?
I've done several.
Well, where are them? Have you got them for us?
They're
Can we
on
have a look at them?
Which one would you like? I have other stuff other than with auto levels. I have other subjects I
The
dabble in.
last test you did, please.
I'm not stuck on one subject. It seems like you guys are stuck on one subject.
Geometry. That's a good subject to be stuck on.
Stuck on it, and also trying to help people so they can see what it looks like when they actually look through
you mean
these
trying to rewrite geometry and prove
we're
that
just showing people what it looks like.
Right.
Geometry.
Who's rewriting geometry?
Ruhif.
Apparently, you guys.
How's that, people?
You guys say that the surface of a sphere is three-dimensional, and where it's not two-dimensional. Whatever the hell you guys say.
Is that rewriting geometry, people?
Yeah, because everyone else says something different.
Non-Euclidean geometry was rewriting geometry, so
the rest of the world says the surface of a sphere is two-dimensional, except for you guys. So apparently, the rest of the world is incorrect, right?
So. How are we rewriting geometry, people?
B-Ball's taking word. He's the rest of the world now. It's the rest of the world and B-Ball versus us, apparently, I think. Isn't that right, B-Ball?
No, you guys think that the surface of a sphere is not two-dimensional. Only you guys think that.
A sphere is a three-dimensional object, right?
So is the rest of the world incorrect?
I don't know. You speaking for the rest of the world, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Nice.
You can't even speak for yourself.
The rest of the world incorrect? Bev? Is the rest of the world
speak for yourself and you think you're speaking for the rest of the world?
How many dimensions are a position on a sphere? On the surface of a sphere?
I can't.
Is this an open discussion or just a Bev thing?
Another bad mic thing.
Yeah,
it was clipping.
Yeah.
Was that Mobius? No.
No, I tried. Did I step in front of someone?
No,
not
somebody
you.
else was talking there, Crit. I don't know who it was.
It sounded like Mobius, but I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't me.
Who was it?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
I hit a bump and my phone dropped out of my hands. I had to go and fumble with it. So how many coordinates are required to describe any position on the surface of a sphere?
What?
How many coordinates are necessary to describe a position on a sphere?
I don't know. I've never tried to describe a position on a sphere. You tell us.
2.
Okay.
They know about geometry.
I thought you. What sort of a sphere do you mean? Do you mean like a ball?
No, like a fucking square, Bev. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I'm just asking. Like, do we mean a sphere or the mathematical sphere? What are we talking about?
Let's purposely play dumb.
No, I'm being deadly serious. Do you mean a sphere as in a mathematical concept? Or do you mean a ball?
Just answer the fucking
A ball,
question.
a sphere.
Okay, a ball. Right. I don't know. Like I say, I've never put a coordinate system to a ball. I don't know. You'll have to tell us. It'd be like if you just put a dot on a ball somewhere, you would try and find a coordinate system, would you?
How about grid coordinates, Bev? Or,
grid
latitude,
coordinates
longitude.
on a ball. Don't be silly.
Latitude, longitude.
No.
Jesus Christ.
You said grid coordinates on a ball.
Oh my God.
Oh, really?
You purposely play dumb. That's your game.
No, I'm just wondering. Like, a surface of a ball, you gonna put a coordinate system on it for some reason. I don't know
GPS
why.
coordinates, latitude, longitude.
How big's the ball?
Those are grid coordinates on a ball.
How big's the ball that we're gonna put a grid coordinate system on?
Doesn't matter.
Oh God.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's say a little ball. I've got one here, tennis ball.
Sure.
Okay. Now, how would we put a grid coordinate system on it? Right. Should we put a point? If I put a dot on a ball, right? Let's see that. That's the point we want to reference to our coordinate system. How would we do that? Go on. I've got to put a dot on a ball. You run us through it.
You draw equal lines all along that ball, and then you draw equal lines perpendicular to those lines, and then you number all the lines, and then where the lines cross, where your dot is, that will be a coordinate.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. But if the ball rolled a bit.
Oh God.
I'm being deadly serious, right? So the ball, you put a dot on a ball, and you're going to draw a load of lines on it. You said something about perpendicular, which is impossible. But hey, let's imagine you can do whatever you want to imagine you can do. Then the ball rolls a bit. Like, does that change the coordinate system, or
no?
The coordinate system's fixed to wherever you draw the lines?
No, the dot's going to be in the same place. The coordinates of the dot do not change because the ball rolls.
Okay.
Stop being pedantic.
So you're fixing the coordinate system to the lines that you're going to draw on it.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Do you not use Google Earth, Bev?
What?
Or GPS coordinates?
Not for balls. No.
No, so you don't use Google Earth at all.
I'm definitely not for the tennis ball that we're trying
tennis
to
ball, yeah, I was
minute.
just thinking.
How about,
I don't think the Google
travel?
Earth's that good. I mean, you'd have to leave it in the back garden for a while and be able to
What
say,
if you were out in the woods and what if you were out in the woods? What kind of system would you use?
What?
To try and find another position you were trying to get to.
On the tennis ball?
No, in reality.
Yeah, the tennis ball is in reality, right? We've got a dot on the ball. That's what we were doing.
Okay, no more tennis ball, Bev. No more tennis ball.
You said any size ball. That's the system you've given us. Don't be changing your mind now.
No more tennis ball.
Everybody's got used to the tennis ball with a dot on it.
We're out in the woods, and you're trying to get to a specific place.
Nice. Okay. Well, you'd still have the lines on the ball that you draw.
I understand. You purposely play dumb. Good job, Bev.
Yeah.
That's your game. You have no game.
You've done really well explaining this coordinate system.
A globe of any size, like the model of a globe, the thing that we have in the classroom of any size will accurately give you information about positions of things.
Right, so you could take a globe with you then into the woods.
Right, but I can make one
Would
that's
that be
6
all right?
inches, or I can make one that's 36 inches.
Yeah.
Radius.
Yeah, you can draw lines on balls. Yeah. That's what B-ball said. You draw lines on balls. Yeah.
And now we know where things are. We've got a coordinate system that we can work from.
On the ball.
Just
Like,
right
you
there.
just go, there's a ball. The ball's there. Which part of the
No,
ball?
but I
Well,
wanna-
I mean, does it
I
really
wanna
matter?
know-
Because the ball can roll over,
I want
can't it?
to know where the valve stem is in reference to where the S is in Spalding.
Well, yeah, but the valve can roll about. It can be in any position, can't it?
It doesn't matter if you're rolling with that. I can still find it with a computer. I could go and say, okay, this is where the S is. Come down 45 degrees, and that's where the valve will be. It's a wonderful system.
Sounds like
it allows you to
terrific
now make use of
operation. This.
of the ball.
Yeah. Come in, please, Anik. Tell me. Where's the where's the valve thing? I'm struggling to find it. Can you give me the coordinate system?
It sounds like he's working in 3D.
Yeah.
Purposely playing dumb.
Actually, I'm working at 2D.
Here we go.
What?
Here we go.
2D.
Here we go.
If
You
you've
work on
got,
2D to find
got a
it out.
valve, you're blowing it up, right? You're pumping it up. That can't be 2D. Can it?
Finding the location of it is 2D.
Finding the location of the
Through
ball.
3D object.
Or the valve. I'm struggling to work out what exactly you think you're talking about here.
Dump with everything. You guys have fun with your playing dumb fest. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. That's all I can do is play dumb.
Yeah. See you later.
Here's your Greek coordinates.
Nice try.
Your coordinate system on a ball.
Yeah. They're the lines. Yeah, you
Very
said
simple.
you draw lines on balls. Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the coordinate system is the lines that you draw on a ball.
Yep. And you can find any position on Earth using that Greek coordinate system.
On Earth?
Thank you.
No, that's a ball.
Yep.
Right, so there's something relating that to the Earth we're on, is it? We've got a ball. You were talking about a ball, right? Oh. Bait and switch, huh? Sorry, not that stupid. So back to the measurements that we managed to get away from. How far can you reckon you could see through your auto level to be accurate? And in order to measure some sort of curvature, how far do you reckon you could see to measure that? Because it's been claimed that people can actually see large distances to measure these things. 1 arc second, I believe, at the last sort of thing. Although George has claimed that he can do much better accuracy than that. Much better.
Bev, do you think you could tell the difference between 10 feet and 50 feet?
Yeah, there's some different numbers there, isn't there?
Would you need to measure the difference between 10 feet and 50 feet? Or would you just be able to see,
I'd be able to calculate the difference would be 40 feet. It's a very easy calculation.
Would you be able to notice that a tree is taller than a car? Or would you have to measure it to find out that the tree is actually taller than the car?
I don't know. It might be a clever trick of perspective, right? Have you ever seen bonsai trees? You would have to survey it, right, in order to be able to do that. I mean, by surveying, I mean go walk all the way around it and check it out, maybe measure it a bit, work it out, and then you'd be able to definitely work out whether a tree's bigger than a car. I mean, it sounds like a good one. I mean, you could do a video about it. Working out whether a tree is bigger than a car with B-ball. The latest globe thing. I mean, it could take off. You never know. Do you think you could?
Here you go.
I measure.
Is that tree taller than the red car, Bev?
What a pathetic question, people.
Why is it that you point out what people have claimed to do and the measurements that they tout from a video that are hyper specific? Now we're talking about a tree in a car.
Yeah.
That is unmeasured.
I'm trying to because I'm trying to point out that I don't have to measure the tree to know that it's taller than the car.
Yeah, there's a guy
you
who
are
lives in Maine, right?
Yeah.
There's a guy that lives in
Actually, you
Maine
do.
that
Actually, you do.
he has looked, supposedly, Beeble. I think you might have showed us a video that you gave us for us to have a look at. We go over it again. But he claims to be able to do 1 arc second over 1,500 feet, 500 meters.
Was it people that gave us that video?
Yeah, he's given us it many times. I mean, heroes of his.
Yeah, I refer to the experts, the people who actually survey.
Right,
I
so
don't refer
do
to
you know
people who just have
a
surveying certificate
Yep.
and think that
have you ever seen anybody else's surveying certificate?
and people
How
who
many
think
surveying
that level and
certificates have you ever
horizontal-
seen?
And people who think that level and horizontal are
just
the
one?
same thing when clearly in
You've only
surveying
seen
it's not.
one
So
surveying certificate.
you guys, all you have
Why are you
have
already skating away
is
from the
denial.
I'm going to get there.
All you
Back.
have
He's
is
just
a-
asked the trigger. Just to do his trigger response.
All you have is a denial of surveying.
Why are you
That's
obfuscating
pretty
from the
much all you
topic,
have.
B-ball?
Right. Okay. So, do you know, B-ball? Have you ever done a calculation to work out how, what distance, an arc second is over 500 meters? Have you ever...
I'm not worried about 500 meters. I'm worried about long distance.
Just the video that you gave us to look over with the numbers that you gave
don't-
us. That's what we
I
did.
don't
We
care
went to
about
go and have a
short
look at it,
distances,
and we
Bev.
thought, oh, that looks
I
like
don't
something
care. I
we
don't-
could check.
I don't squibble about arc seconds. Okay, I like to look at
Yeah,
things
you
that
do.
are.
You just post the videos claiming that it proves something. But you've obviously
Over.
don't squibbled about it because you've
No, I
never
don't care. I don't
fucking
care
looked
about
at it. You've never
I don't
checked
care
a
about-
fucking thing about him.
I don't care about.
You
short
don't
distances,
even
Bev.
know that he's not a real surveyor. It's a bit shameful,
I don't
people.
care about short.
You're easily
Oh, he's not a real
fooled.
surveyor.
Is anybody
How
else
did
allowed
you-
to
how
talk?
did
Is it just Bev?
Yeah, it's just Bev actually.
It's
So
just people,
I don't
actually.
care about short distances, Bev. I don't
You
care.
don't care about short
care
distances
about-
and
care
you've got
about-
an
I care
auto
about long
level.
distances.
Oh,
Then
God.
don't post the guy's
don't-
videos as some kind of proof.
I don't care about short distances. Okay.
You posted his videos and his
I
information.
post
Now you're
many
saying you
videos.
don't care
I
about
post-
it.
I post many videos.
So it was
I post a lot of
people
it.
who threw Jeff under the bus. Nice one, people.
I post a lot of videos. So, and he's an actual surveyor.
Do you do as much research into those other videos as you do into the ones from the guy from Maine? I.e., fuck all.
So, are you saying that the main surveyor is not a real surveyor?
Absolutely. Yes, I will say that.
Really? How
Right
did you-
now.
how did you
Yes.
determine that?
He's
How did
lying.
you
He
determine
can't
that?
set his tools up. He thinks horizontals are different
you know-
with different
so
tools.
you know more than
no,
him?
he's said it. He's got a video with saying that himself. Like all of my videos, B-Ball, I use the people that say that shit. They say it. I can show you where they said it. I can show you the videos that they've
Where
done
who said
that
what?
show it.
Where who said what? Where who said what?
What are we talking about, people?
He doesn't know.
I'm asking Bev.
No, he doesn't know, does he?
Yeah.
You've got no
I'm asking
clue of
Bev.
where the conversation is at, where we started, where we're at, or where we're going.
I'm asking
You've
Bev.
got no clue, people.
I'm asking Bev. Who says what, Bev?
The
Where we
main
keep saying you have
surveyor,
videos of-
the main
Go ahead.
surveyor that isn't a surveyor, he says that when he set his tools up, the auto level and the theodolite, one's upside down, then they're both next to each other looking over something. The horizontal crosshairs aren't in the same place. And he says that's to be expected. Not, oh shit, one of my tools is fucking out. Oh no. No.
Oh, so
He
your
says
claim-
that's to
your-
be
your
expected.
claim- okay, so your claim is that he set up his tools wrong. That's your
Yes,
claim.
he
How did you
doesn't know.
determine that?
He doesn't know that the horizontal
determine
would
that,
be the same.
How did you
That's-
determine that?
How did I
Let him answer
determine
the
that?
fucking
Because he
question,
fucking
people.
said it, you dickhead. How did you determine that I'm not telling you the truth?
Didn't he say
Because
we
over that
calibrate it after the fact?
Because over that distance, the reason why the crosshairs are above the other side is because of the.
That's not the question that was asked, people. Bev asked you, how did you
How about you let
determine that he's not telling the truth?
How about you let people talk?
Because he's going off in the weeds.
Yeah.
As usual.
What's up? 9 o'clock? Yeah, I'll be there.
So come on, people, floor's yours. How did you determine that he's not telling the truth?
No, how does he know that the guy from Maine is a real surveyor? That's what I'd like to know, people.
Oh, so you think he's lying?
How do you know? How do you know? I'm telling you why I think he's a lying shit and not a real surveyor. Because a real surveyor would have noticed that the horizontals aren't the same, and they'd have said, "Shit, I don't think I'll put that out as a video because it'd make me look like I'm not a real surveyor." How do you know he is?
That was the point of the video, was to show that they're not horizontal, wasn't it?
So that they're not horizontal.
That was the point of the video. That was the point of the video.
What are you talking about?
Keep talking, people. Keep talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the point of the video, was it? Was it not?
What, to show that the two tools that are at the same height have got a different horizontal through the eyepiece? That was the point of the video, yeah?
Are we talking about the same video?
Come on, people, answer the question.
Are we talking about the same video?
We must be. Yeah, you've just said
The
that
guy
that
from
was
Maine.
the point of the video, that he made a video to prove that horizontals aren't the same. Whenever you set the horizontal and different tools up next to each other, then that's the video he did. And I don't think it was called that, but I mean, if that's what you want to say.
He did that
I think it was
across
was it across the water? Yeah.
No.
I think, okay, now
It was
I
across
don't
the field in his
across the
case.
water, wasn't it?
That was Blue who did that, I think.
No, it
Or,
was the guy from Maine.
Vivo. Do you remember
that was-
the main question? How do you know that the main surveyor is an actual licensed surveyor? That was the real question. Have you answered that yet?
No, he hasn't.
Then please, how do you know it?
I don't.
Ah.
But you know what? I
Thank
trust
you.
him.
Thank you.
You
That's
trust
good.
him even
Of
though
course.
he's got on video
I
that he
trust
can't set his tools up properly?
No,
You just-
Oh,
How
George,
about that?
That's a claim you guys have. That's a claim you guys have.
it's
No,
on
that's
video.
That's a Bev claim.
It's
No,
on
that's
video.
worth the powder,
people.
not worth the powder to blow it up.
Wow.
And you just said he was a surveyor. You knew he was a surveyor like 5 minutes ago.
And even
Oh,
George
let me-
said he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
When we're talking about this auto level and this when he's doing this setup, he determined that he set them both up to horizontal, and he's looking across a field at each other and saying that the drop is to be expected. Correct?
No.
Or are we talking about two that are right next to each other?
Yeah,
Two
they're
that are
next
right
to
next
each
to
other.
each other.
Yeah.
He
A
said they were the same
theodolite
height.
and an auto level.
No, same height, but across a field, right?
No.
No.
Same horizontal.
Yeah, same. No. I'm still talking about where the setups are. Where are these two setups? Let's put them in feet. How many feet away are they from
Right
each other?
next to each other.
They're
in a
about
parking
8
lot.
foot apart,
Oh.
I think.
Okay. Then I don't know why they would come up with different.
Because he don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah,
That's
he's
why.
not a
That's
real
our whole
surveyor,
point.
is he?
I don't remember him doing that, though. I don't remember
Would
him
you
doing
notice that if you were to look through the scopes of those two tools looking out over the same place and notice that they were in a different place, would you say, yeah, that's to be expected?
Why do y'all think we say these things?
Let him answer, please. Let him answer. Would you say that's to be expected because they're two different tools?
No, not that way. But I also know that you like to misrepresent things, so I'm not positive what was actually being shown. So I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great turnaround there.
Nice
Turn it back
one,
on
yeah.
Bev. Yeah, nice
So
one.
if we can show you that he did actually do that, would you say that I wasn't misrepresenting what was said?
Sure,
And,
I'd
and
like to
say
see it.
that he might not be an actual real surveyor.
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
Oh, right. What about if he made a follow-up video stating exactly the same thing, that it was to be expected?
Knowing how you
Because
misrepresent things, I don't know.
somebody
I'd
had
have to
said
see
that
it.
they weren't
I can't trust
actually
you at your word.
horizontal.
Hello, everyone. This is a brief follow-up to this video called Wild Lighthouses, which seems to have caused a stir in the comments section among some of the folks that believe that the surfaces of the ocean are planar rather than curved. So what's happening in this video? What's really the purpose of this video? We see, looking through the scope of an auto level and a theodolite. And as noted in the video, they're not the same. They're different instruments, and they may have different calibration settings. And that the crosshairs, when you look through the scopes and see the crosshairs compared to the lighthouses, they're different. And I had noted that they would be. Let's see, get that to play a little bit. Okay, so we see through the auto level, there is that space, and it, just we see a space, and this is Seguin Island over here. And then if we fast forward to the theodolite, we see that the crosshair, there's a bigger gap there. Well, that was noted in the video. I said that the crosshair was very far above the lighthouse. This video wasn't really about explaining why that difference exists, only that it's really the point of this video that these two lighthouses are, well, they're below the horizontal crosshair when each instrument is set horizontal, but each one seems to be interpreting horizontal a little different.
Have you not seen these videos?
Yeah.
I have seen the videos. I don't recall sections of them like he's describing, so I'm trying to now find out what he's talking about. Everything I remember from his measurement was across the field.
How about
not next to each other?
How about somebody post it that we can, jog everyone's memory?
Yeah. Do you want to take him down, right?
Oh, wait a second.
I'll post
Okay,
him.
both of these tools were looking at a distant object. The auto level was above the other one. The other one, he aimed down to the eyepiece to get the angle down to the eyepiece, correct?
Nah.
You're thinking of a wrong video, buddy.
A different one.
They're going to think of every other video apart from the one we're talking about.
How about you fucking put it up so we don't have to fucking wonder about what he's talking about?
Go on to his channel. Have you not got it on speed dial?
How about I go to his channel?
No.
That's wonderful. Okay, you know what I want to provide because you've got lists.
We just have a look. Fake surveyors from Maine. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm looking for it now.
The guy that calls himself a surveyor that might be in Maine, but you can't trust the fact that he's a surveyor, so he might not even be from Maine. It might just be a YouTube name that he's got. You never know.
Right.
Yeah. Actually,
and based on your knowledge, you might have just printed up that certificate and put it on your wall and faked it.
Well, that would be fraudulent, right?
The fact that you don't know that level and horizontal are not the same thing.
It's an actual certificate. Yeah.
With the license number.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be fraudulent as fuck.
Yeah.
By the way.
Only if he sells his services.
What?
And doesn't mean he's not fraudulent.
What? What are you talking about?
Not really. If you just print out an ID, like a personal ID, that's already fraudulent. Without using it.
If you put it up on your wall, I think you can put anything you want on your wall in your house.
Wow, are you telling us what Fight the Flat Earth did?
Fuck.
Is that how all the Fight the Flat Earth got his certificates?
No. Talking about you.
I see. No.
I see.
Wow,
level,
dude, you're
Yeah.
Not normal behavior.
Childish.
But that's all right. So
you're calling what Bev is doing normal?
Yeah, totally. And what you're doing is kind of
you're a little defective there.
Totally.
All right.
Did the video get posted?
I'm on the channel. What's the video called now? I'm on his channel right now. So I'll post it as soon as someone tells me the actual name of the video. He's got a lot of videos.
Is it called the Wild Theodolite and Auto Level? There's two Wilds or something. And then there's a follow-up video.
Wild Lighthouse?
Wild Lighthouses. And then is there another one after it?
Better if you looked it up, since you know
like
what
a
you're looking for.
review or something.
Addendum?
I don't know. I'm just
Wild
going from
lighthouse,
memory.
addendum.
That's
wild
it, the
lighthouse.
addendum, yeah. So there's the wild lighthouses and then the addendum, right? Go with the wild lighthouses first, but be careful. Don't put it out on stream because he strikes your
No, I'll put it
channel.
right now.
He'll strike you. Watch out.
Oh, he won't. Oh, he'll let me post it.
But he
he'll
struck
let me
Cleary's channel. So be careful what you're doing with his stuff. He gets butt when you look at it.
Yeah, that's why you asked him first.
People. Well, no, he gave me permission. Everyone always give me permission to go over all of the videos. Yeah. But it was Cleary. He got butt one day and talked about it. Cleary just showed the thumbnail of it and he struck him. But he got it took off. Don't worry. It's all right.
Well, yeah, because you don't need their permission technically to use the video if you're using it just for, entertainment purposes.
Education purposes, right?
Yeah, whichever.
Upside down.
So I'm looking at this video.
So striking somebody is just being butthurt because you know it's just going to get reversed.
Yeah, but it stops you from live streaming for a week or so, doesn't it? You know, like
yeah.
Those crosses look well above that tower.
Maybe you just did it so clearly couldn't live stream. That would make logical sense.
Yeah. Seeing as we were going over the stuff that the guy from Maine and Jesse Kozlowski were doing, we were just checking up on it. People give it as evidence, right? And we sort of
Where's
give
the
evidence.
part that you're talking about, bro?
The crosshairs. Look at the crosshairs of each of
they
the
look well
individual things. And now one of them looks well above. The other one looks well above. They're not the same, are they? They're different. That's the point.
Hello, everyone. This is a brief follow-up to this video called Wild Lighthouses, which seems to have caused a stir in the comments section among some of the folks that believe that the surfaces of the ocean are planar rather than curved. So what's happening in this video? What's really the purpose of this video? We see, looking through the scope of an auto level and a theodolite. And as noted in the video, they're not the same. They're different instruments and they may have different calibration settings. And that the crosshairs, when you look through the scopes and see the crosshairs compared to the lighthouses, they're different. And I had noted that they would be. Let's see, get that to play a little bit. Okay, so we see through the auto level there is that space, and it, we see a space, and this is Seguin Island over here. And then if we fast forward to the theodolite, we see that the crosshair, there's a bigger gap there. Well, that was noted in the video. I said that the crosshair was very far above the lighthouse. This video wasn't really about explaining why that difference exists, only that it's really the point of this video that these two lighthouses are, well, they're below the horizontal crosshair when each instrument is set horizontal, but each one seems to be interpreting horizontal a little different.
This is bad. The theodolite is upside down. Fucking upside down, literally.
That might be
Well, to be fair,
might be a part of something. But I mean, hey, but maybe B-Ball knows. But is that normal, B-Ball? It being upside down?
It's probably just the way he rendered the video at that point.
Yeah. Maybe he had his phone upside down. Yeah.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Do you think he was standing on his head and took the picture or something?
Right, but that's not the point, right? The point is that they are in different places, right? You do understand that the horizontal that's set from those two tools that are next to each other are in different places. So that means the horizontal runs from that place in two different places, in two different lines. Now, I say any surveyor worth his weight, or even anybody who doesn't really know about the surveying, would go, hey, wait a minute, they're different. They're not meant to be
I'm gonna
different.
listen to what he's. Wait. I think he explains why one is higher and one is lower. I'm gonna go ahead and
Go on then. Yeah. Go on.
I'd love to hear
what he
that
says.
too.
Come back with what he says.
He does.
Maybe
He
I'm
comes back and he says that it's because of calibration, and he has to calibrate them, so it's to be expected because they're not in calibration.
Oh,
does that mean
one of them's not horizontal?
Oh, I guess that would be what it would mean.
Right. So why would he be doing it like that?
Well, because the example that he's showing is
because he's not a real surveyor.
Because there's two objects in the distance.
Yeah.
And one object is twice as high as the one in the foreground, and it's below the one in the foreground.
This is a video on miscalibration. He mislabeled the video then.
Yeah. He did actually say in that video as well that the calibration would be done on the auto level after the fact, right? I mean, how good would you think there?
We see that it is 90 degrees. It means we're horizontal. Okay? So, different instruments are different. We already know that. But in both cases, both those lighthouses, which are taller than the crosshairs of both of these instruments, are far below the horizontal crosshairs of both of these instruments. That is how we can see the curvature of the Earth plainly.
Rakir, if you were getting your auto level out and you'll go, never mind, we'll do it after.
Because what he's describing doesn't require the auto level to be accurate?
Either way, no matter where the crosshair is, this is what we're seeing. And we have two different instruments, and there's some kind of difference between them. How will we quantify that difference between the two? Well, not by this process. That would be a process of going out and with the auto level performing a two-peg test and calibrating it after the fact until we get the two-peg test working as close to perfect as we can get it. And an auto level, remember, it's really only meant for those short distances. We're only looking, 1 to 200 feet with an auto level, more or less. Not, 8 miles and 23, 24 miles. So this is unfair to the auto level also. The auto level is not accurate to that distance. And then with the theodolite, it would be taking it to a place with known values, known measurement values expected, right? So we can expect what the measurement values would be. That's what you would do with the theodolite. Like take you to a calibration baseline, or compare it to an instrument that is well calibrated, and you've established points that have known values, and you compare those values that you get out of the instrument to what is known, and then you can make adjustments after that. But that wasn't the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video was just to show quickly that, hey, we've got both these lighthouses below these crosshairs, and the farther one, which is higher, is far below the closer one. Now, this is not a technical video. This is one of my least technical videos I've ever made. Just a quick, simple demonstration. So, is it accurate for geodetic surveying, these two different instruments in this video? No. Is it accurate for a simple demonstration of showing curvature? Absolutely. We could have just taken a scope that has no crosshairs, if I had one, and we would accomplish the same thing. The results are the same.
Come on, man.
He's essentially taking a picture of something in the distance with a reference on it.
Oh, you're
the
talking about
reference is not of where horizontal is. The reference is where the two objects are in the distance with reference to each other.
Would a surveyor do that?
So way to actually misrepresent what he was trying to show. Well, that's because you're stuck in this world where you have to misrepresent.
Would a surveyor do that?
Yeah,
that's gaslighting.
Yes, a surveyor would do that when he's talking to flat earthers and just trying to describe something in the distance.
A surveyor would take two tools out and look over water I can't imagine why he'd be
Yeah,
doing
look
that.
over water.
And then show everybody that
showed everybody.
he can't make his tools horizontal. I mean, that's
He
genius.
he can.
Absolute
He has to
genius.
go and recalibrate. Absolute
I wonder how many jobs he got out of that at the end of it.
Yeah, he's muted for mocking and making fun of someone's voice. That's not allowed. You know that. If you want to come back a couple minutes and not do that, that's fine.
So you have your one auto level, then you look at the other one, but then you got to recalibrate the other one when you look back. But then when you look back the other way, you got to recalibrate it. It seems like you're just flopping it back and forth.
This was the same guy in a debate that said they would go to get a horizontal. They go out, do the measurements, go back home, do all the numbers, then go back and make the marks. I mean, we're talking about.
Oh, you make it. You make it at home. You make the horizontal at home and bring it to work.
What he said.
Yeah. Want to make 3 marks on posts over a mile at the side of a canal. He said they'd come out for one day, have a look at it, go back, do a day's worth of calculations, and then come back and put 2 marks on a post. Half a mile.
That would take me 5
away.
minutes.
I mean, genius. I mean, like he's obviously not a real surveyor. He's just a guy on YouTube that's got Surveyor in his name. Now, this guy just happens to be the only guy that anybody ever quotes when they're talking about plumb lines. This is the guy. He's famous.
Post screenshots from his videos. Post his little notebook that he allegedly got an arc second accuracy over 1,500 feet. Then people say, well, I don't care about short distances. Well, he posts his screenshots all the time.
That's what we did at the weekend. We went to go and have a look. What you can see over that distance that he claims he's measured an arc second. Anybody can have a look and see what you can see over that distance. Now, bear in mind, the scopes that he has on those 2 instruments aren't 32 times scope. The auto level that we have it's got the best scope you can get. So he's got worse scopes than we have. So you wouldn't be able to see as accurately as we could when we saw over 500 meters. Yet you have to be able to believe he can do it.
Sorry, for the audience, could you tell what do you mean and how? What does it convert to when you say 1 arc second?
1 arc second over 500 meters. Mathematically, because you take it becomes the radius, and the arc second is like a 2 radiuses. It's 3 millimeters.
It becomes either 3 millimeters or in degree. Could you tell the others?
It's 1 arc
How much
second.
is that, by the way?
Yeah, it's 1 arc second, and 1 arc second is 3,600th of a degree. And a degree obviously is 360th of a circle.
Yeah. Just so everybody understands what we are talking about, because degrees.
Run that by me again. Run that by me again, Bev. You divide a circle into 360s, and then you divide one of, and then you divide that 1 degree into
60 minutes, and then you get one of those minutes and divide that into 60 seconds. So a second is a 3,600th of a degree.
Yeah, that's right. Does it sound small, guys? Like for real?
Which is
it's fucking small.
3 millimeters over 500 meters. That's the accuracy that is claimed by the guy from Maine, and that accuracy,
achieved, right? Yeah. He actually achieved that accuracy.
Well, I mean, could you achieve that accuracy if you don't know what horizontal is? I mean, like, are you capable of doing that? I mean, I don't know, but
I know you couldn't do it with an uncalibrated machine for sure.
People's just put a message in the chat. LOL, different tools, different calibration.
Yeah. He thinks horizontal's calibrated differently, because that's what the guy from Maine says. Right? He actually makes an addendum, right? He makes an after video to point out that some people, I don't know who they were, might have pointed out that they're not the same horizontal. And he makes another video to tell you why they're not the same horizontal. Because, I don't know, the hell of it, I guess. Because Bev must be wrong, right? It's always Bev's fault for mentioning that they're not the same horizontal. Nobody else had never noticed that, would they? Not even any of the Globers. I mean, Moyoc Man did sort of say that they're not the same horizontal. So he did notice it. He didn't notice it when he watched the video. He might never have watched the
one
video
is not
before.
horizontal. At least one is not horizontal.
Yeah. At least one.
So there's not a
And there's only two. At least one is not horizontal, and there's only two in the video.
And it's a surveyor.
Horizontal. But since horizontal had nothing to do
You're not
with
doing
the
too well, are you?
Since horizontal has nothing to do with the measurement, what's the problem?
Well, he's checking the horizontal, isn't he?
No, he's
the
not.
drop from.
No.
He's checking the.
Wait a minute.
The drop from.
Are you saying
drop from horizontal?
You're saying that the tools that he uses have got nothing to do with horizontal? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's a misrepresentation, which is your very common tactic.
Okay. Well, what about setting the tools up so they are horizontal? Like, is that not something you would do?
He is not using them to determine horizontal.
But would you not set the tools up so they are horizontal as part of your standard procedure for you being a surveyor? Would you not do that?
I don't care. That's not what he was representing, so he did not need.
I don't care. Oh, flipping hell. Man, you're digging yourself a hole.
He's not digging himself a hole. He's helping the main surveyor dig his hole.
Mm-hmm.
He's left that video up there for a reason, right? He wants this sort of conversation to go on. I mean, he must do, right? He's left the video up. He's obviously not bothered about it. There's obviously some reason that a guy that claims to be a surveyor would take two tools to the side of the wherever it is, look over water at a lighthouse and show you that they aren't horizontal. One of them, at least one of them, is not horizontal. There must be some reason he wants to do that. Perhaps he wants to let you know that he's not a real surveyor. Maybe that is the reason. Subconsciously, like subliminal man type thing. See whether you notice it. See, that could be the reason, right? To see who notices the mistake he makes, even when he makes an addendum and a new video telling you that that's exactly what he's doing. Perhaps. I don't know. I like it. So but that was what we were doing. We just went out to go and have a look, see what you can see over 500 metres. Seeing as some people have claimed you can do 1 arc second over that sort of distance. And also we're going to be going over the fact that but it was logic night tonight, isn't it? And we're going over the logic of the perpendiculars, vertical and horizontal are perpendicular.
Did anyone want to just finish up, you know, after Bev just nicely said it concisely? Anyone want to follow up with anything?
I noticed Beeble's run away, so he's got no input in this anymore. Left lane got anything? Moyak man? Nothing?
How long do you reckon those videos are going to stay up for?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, Saraguki, 9 o'clock we said tonight. We've got Mobius has got a video coming out at 8. So that's in 2 hours-ish. And then 9 o'clock, we'll be doing the Logic thing. Tuesday Logic at Earth Awakenings. Open to everyone.
It would be nice to have the drain surveyor here to explain himself, but he seems to have disappeared. So, if you're out there, Jeff, come and explain. Bit like Jesse Kozlowski, and who was the other one?
Well, I think we still have Larry Scott around somewhere. I've heard him here and there, I believe. Don't we? Hey, we still got Larry Scott's
yeah,
concrete slab following the curve of the earth video to go over, so
it's on the
no one really
series.
uses him anymore, so
well, Larry might be the only one. We've got Sean though.
well, B-Ball tried to force his way into the tool abuse community, but I don't think he's done that much. Maybe he has. Just keeping it, behind closed doors.
Saving it up. He might be coming out with a good video. Or we might be stopping him from becoming the next surveyor. If that's all it takes to be from a certain place and then just get some tools and take some pictures, not really know what you're doing with them. I mean,
well, B-Ball would be perfect from that. He would be known as the Hawaiian Surveyor.
Yeah.
Ranty's trying, right? Has he gone up his mountain yet? Or even gotten his tool yet?
I don't know. No, you'd expect them to do a picture of it, him and his auto level, right? He'd be so proud.
It's amazing that they planned on...
Sorry, mate. Go on.
Well, I'll be quick. They planned on their tool abuse adventure before they even had the tool. Now that is YouTube entertainment.
I wonder what the next unboxing is going to be like. Hopefully a bit happier than the other one.
Won't be.
I'm keen to see it. I mean, I did say to Ranty ages ago he could come and have a look at what we do on the canal and the auto level and do all of that sort of stuff, but he didn't seem keen. That was when he was pretending to be a flat earther. I asked him if he wanted to do laser tests and all of that over from Southport to Blackpool when he used to pretend to be a flat earther, and he said no. Well, he didn't just say no, he just sort of...
What would be the point of that? Other than to show lasers refract through the atmosphere.
Yeah. Waving lasers at each other. Come on, have you never done that for Saturday evening?
That's what we would show. We would show lasers refract and spread out through the atmosphere. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you never waved lasers at each other?
Yes.
Yeah. How far away did you get from each other?
A couple miles, maybe.
A couple of miles. See that we would have done like 10 miles. Me and Ranty, if Ranty had come out and done it.
Yeah, but what are you trying to show? Other than
I'm just going to show that people can get together and wave lasers at each other. It's great fun. we do it live stream on Discord for people to not watch. I mean,
if you're going to do that, why not go play laser tag? That's a hell of a lot more fun.
You can't over 10 miles. Nah.
Sure, why not?
I was thinking we could do it from mountaintop to mountaintop and see how far we could get away from each other while we were doing it. I mean, that would be great.
Yeah. Where are you going to get a laser that collimates for 10 miles?
Well, you just have to be able to see the person, don't you?
I mean, right. You just have to be able to... You just have to be able to see the giant column of light that's, a half mile wide. What are you showing, Bev?
No, it's waving lasers at each other. You just have to see the laser, don't you? That's it.
Yeah, so Kool-Aid, what are you on about? Because I've got a laser observation at 9 miles, 2 feet off the ground. So I'm not sure what you're trying to. What's your point?
At 9 miles.
Yeah.
How big is your laser beam?
Dude, I can see the source. That's all I give a shit about.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I understand because light spreads out through the atmosphere. Collimated lasers decollimate.
What's the point? I have a visual of a laser 2 feet off the ground at 9 miles. That's the point that I was trying to demonstrate, that we could see the laser. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that shows though.
It shows that he can see the laser. I mean, like, brilliant. I mean, he's not claiming anything else, right? He's not claiming that there's a prize at the end of the laser for you. He's just saying you can see it over that distance.
I also have my iPhone flashlight was set right at the top of the water, and at 6 miles we can see that right at the top of the water.
Sweet.
Your iPhone flashlight, which already shoots out in what, a 45-degree cone, so you're probably looking at 4 miles, what, 3/4 of a mile wide light distribution? Why wouldn't you be able to see that?
Yeah, iPhone lights. Yeah, everyone knows that they're obviously visible over miles.
How wide? Yeah, how wide would that cone be there, Kool-Aid?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, all I saw was the light itself, right? So I see the source. Okay, look.
Or you saw the light.
Seeing the source.
You saw the light. You didn't see the source. You saw the light.
You saw the light, yeah.
The light, which is spread out and isn't a pinpoint thing, especially when you're using an iPhone flashlight, which is designed to have a wide pattern to it.
Wow.
So I don't see what that says either way.
Okay.
Well, just to clarify, Travis, I understand. You saw the light, right?
Yeah.
That's what it says to me. No big deal.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to prove anything, that's fine.
Prove?
I still think you guys would have more fun if you went and played laser tag. But hey, each to their own.
Mm-hmm. Do you think doing stuff? I mean, Travis, did you have a good laugh, and did you go, "Wow, that's interesting" when you did it? Like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it was very interesting.
See,
and last time you played laser tag, did you go, "Hey, that was kind of fun"?
Yeah, but Travis,
answer my question.
Did you prove that you could see the light over that distance?
They were both the same. Awesome. I'm glad we agree now, Bev.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Travis, did you prove that you personally could see that light over that distance to yourself?
Definitely proved it to myself.
There you go. What did you prove when you did laser tag?
I'll tell you what I proved. Yeah, I was going to say, last time I played laser tag, I proved I was getting fucking old.
Okay. And what was the purpose of that? Like, did you gain something from it?
Absolutely nothing. But when I keep asking you guys what you learned from your test, sounds like we learned the same thing. I mean, he was, fun, interesting. I said, fun, interesting when I played laser tag. So we got the same thing out of it.
Yeah,
the thing is, they want to pretend it shows a flat Earth without saying so, because then it can be challenged. They just want to pretend without saying it.
Pretend?
Yes,
is that
pretend without mentioning it, because the second you mention it, it's up for scrutiny.
Okay.
But if you just sit there and pretend you're not actually saying what you are clearly saying, then can just claim ignorance.
Okay, well, Travis, you know when you were seeing that light over 6 miles, was it pretending anything?
Oh, no, not at all, huh?
See, he's
definitely not. I wasn't pretending to hold the phone. I wasn't pretending to squat down close to the water. Nothing was pretend.
Yeah.
The pretend part is that you think it proves something that it doesn't prove.
Oh, is it not the pretend part where you think you can think what other people think? Is that not the pretend part that's going on here?
That's also a pretend part.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that's most important is the fact that you've done something, you think you've proven something, but you're too scared to even claim so.
No, we just...
Again, he's claiming what other people think.
I'm listening in, and I'm hearing some guy, with his laser, and he can see it at 6 miles, I think I heard. Yeah? Is that what it was?
Something like that?
So 6 miles. He's looking at it, and yeah, go on.
Yeah, just to be clear, the laser was 9 miles. The flashlight was at 6.
Oh, so you can see the laser at 9 miles, yeah?
Yeah.
What is it, on the beach? Like, did you say on the shore? Anyway,
he said he was 2 foot above the water.
All right, cool. Yeah, so, quite something, isn't it, to see a laser that far? Yeah. Fair play, yeah.
Yeah.
So what does it mean, spot on level?
So again?
What does it mean?
It means he can see a laser at 9 miles. What do you mean? What does it mean?
That's 2 feet above the water.
Yep.
What do you think?
All of you are too scared to say it. It's
what are you talking about?
Okay, what are you talking about?
What are you saying?
Okay, hold on. Let me say one thing. We all know we can see the light that far. We all know that.
Yes. That is not the contention.
Oh. Well, what's the contention?
The problem is that the next step you guys take from there, you aren't willing to say out loud.
What's the next step?
You know what is the next step.
Oh.
No, so you're not willing to say it out loud either.
I'm not going to say your statement out loud. I'll say but what I think out loud. That's what you want.
Why are you divining statements for us?
Because you're unwilling to answer the direct question when I proposed it multiple times. No, I'm in the middle of...
Tell us what you think
I'm in the middle of a sentence, Bev.
Do us all individually.
Tell us what you think it means.
Hey, you guys want to talk all over me. I'm going to start using my own voice. I'm allowed to finish the sentence too. What we're saying, and Gummy Bear can correct me if he's not saying this, is you guys are too scared to say it's a flat earth and that's what it proves because you know that it doesn't, and you know that the balders in this room are going to... Hey, I'm in the middle of a fucking sentence.
You just said it's
I'm going to start over now
because
you can't have an adult conversation.
No, he says you think that, or you guys think that. I don't know who he's talking about.
That is what you're claiming. That is what you're claiming.
No, nobody's claimed that.
No, that is exactly what you're claiming.
Kool-Aid, you're the only one raising your voice, so just bring it down a little bit, buddy.
Can I stop being talked over, please?
Well, I'm a moderator right now, so I'm asking you to just take it down a little bit because you're the only one raising his voice.
Well, can you warn the people that are talking over him then, if you're going to be a moderator?
All right, let's make sure that we give each other space, everyone, please.
Thank you. What you are trying to claim, and what Gummy Bear is pointing out, and rightly he won't say it, but I don't care. You're trying to claim that the Earth is flat, and this is what this proves. But you're too scared to actually make that statement because you know it doesn't. Because the questions I started asking, such as the collimation of the laser, you have no answer for. And it's pretty freaking apparent, and it's really pathetic.
Okay, great. So I don't see the need to understand how wide the collimation is. My point was, I wonder if I'll be able to see this light at all, and I did. I wasn't really concerned with the collimation. So why is that significant to you?
Right. At that point, you've proved nothing. You've shown evidence for nothing.
No, I proved that I could see a light. My question, though, remains because you brought up the collimation. My question to you is, in your opinion, what is the significance of bringing up the collimation? What does that even mean? Why would that be significant in this discussion?
Because you're not looking at a pinpoint of light. You are looking at a wide cone.
Okay, so great.
The whole reason why...
Gummy, hold on.
Go ahead.
So again, so how would I know that I'm not actually seeing the source of my laser? How would you go about demonstrating that? Or I mean, like again, I would say I don't even care about that, but you seem to be making a big deal about it. So when I turn the laser off and I can't see it, and I turn the laser on and I can see it, am I not seeing the source?
No.
Well, okay, so what does that mean? Why am I not seeing the source?
Because you never see the source of anything. You only see the light that has traveled to your eyes. That's the way light works. Come on, Travis.
Okay. No. Okay, so when you're telling me that if I see a car in front of me, I'm not seeing the car, I'm seeing this hologram coming at me as light? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying you're seeing the reflected light from the car. You're not seeing the car.
I'm not seeing the car.
Oh.
Okay. All right. You have fun there.
The big problem that I would say is that because you're not controlling for the variable of the collimation of light, which is just one of several variables you're not controlling for, you can make very few statements about that.
But you can kind of just say he can see the light.
He saw the light.
Statement. Yeah.
Is that really a good statement when that's all you can gather from it?
Yeah, he can make that statement.
Have
if he
fun
can
with
see
that.
the light, he can see the light. I mean, what's up
I
with you
can
guys?
see the light. That's a great statement. I can see the light, and that's all.
Are you
can say?
insinuating, Gummy, that he shouldn't see the light? Are you insinuating that?
No. I am insinuating that there was no reason to doubt seeing the light.
Okay. He never doubted seeing the light. He just went there. And he saw the light.
Now he can claim that he saw the light, and we're all so much smarter for it, right? Because he can see the light.
Yeah.
And that's
but
all
that's
we know.
not enough for you, right? That's not enough for you.
Because just saying we can see the light,
something. Like,
just saying we can see the light has very little information to it. It doesn't really get us further in anything.
Yeah.
Are you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize, gentlemen. Thank you for letting me squeeze in. Are you guys singing Christian songs in here? Because you keep saying I saw the light.
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Yeah.
I saw the light. I'm not an authority on that song, but I just, continue.
I was actually just thinking of I Saw the Sign, but that's not the same song.
And even if it's a column of light, when you look at the laser, you only see that part that is a line of sight. So that that there is a column, you jump in side view mode and say there is a column, so you can't see the laser.
Okay,
right?
So even if we were to grant you something like that, what are you saying? Are you saying this proves something then?
That you have line of sight towards the laser.
Okay. So you think this proves you have line of sight to the laser?
Yes.
I know it does.
You know it does. Okay. That's another bold statement.
Why is that a bold statement?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a truck directly in front of me, Gummy. Do I not have a line of sight to that truck right now?
Most likely, yeah.
Right. Okay, so if I stop and that truck keeps going and going and going and going, is it always in my line of sight as long as I can see it?
Not necessarily.
Oh, really? Okay. That seems like it's your issue now. Okay.
Yeah, can you give us anything, Gummy? Gummy, please give us something, what you're actually saying, right? Because all Travis is saying, he can see the light. He's seen the light, right? I don't doubt that Travis does. It doesn't sound you do either, right? You admit that Travis should and did see the light.
Yeah, that's not...
Now, give us exactly what your point is that you're trying to make here now.
My point is that if you want to make any more claims than just he saw a light, then you need to have controlled variables be a part of it. And you didn't have that part, and therefore that's all you can say. You saw a light.
Yeah.
Which doesn't get us any further intellectually in any debate. all it says is he saw a light.
We found out that you got triggered by Travis seeing a light, and you started bringing all sorts of other things up. I mean, that's we learned from it, or I learned from it anyway.
Well, then that's fun for you. But the part that was that was interesting, or that got me speaking, is that it wasn't just that you saw a light. You were slightly and shadily implying that means something without saying the words. That's why I spoke up.
Isn't that your interpretation of what somebody says, not exactly what they say?
Sure. Everything that I hear will go through my interpretation, so that's correct. It's not necessarily what they intended or what they said or thought or any of that, of course.
So you're building an opinion here, yeah?
On your interpretation of what somebody said.
Is your opinion.
Yeah.
And when asked for clarity on what they were saying, they were unwilling or unable to provide it.
Okay, let me just jump in here real quick, because the reason why I came in was because Kool-Aid, you started talking about lasers and collimation and whatnot, and it seemed to me that my comment would have some, weight to the discussion. So I just basically added what I saw. So I was just responding to Kool-Aid. I wouldn't have brought it up. I didn't even think about it until he started talking about lasers.
Could it be that when he said 9 miles, you thought of a certain something in your head that made you question that?
Only that you are to say anything.
Only that I did do the observation at 9 miles. Yeah, whatever.
Not you, Travis. Them.
92.7. 92.7 AM. They're doing an announcement. Some lady. You guys should listen. We can't talk about it right here, but it's on the radio, the live radio right now. 92.7.
Wouldn't I have to be within your range of that?
I'm saying this lady's making a really good speech on the radio. You guys should listen. I mean, on the live,
Speaking of
what does that got to
listening,
do with the conversation here? Nothing.
Can we get an unmute for Moyoc? He's been muted for.
No, this conversation she's reading about is way better than your conversation. Trust me.
I think his penalty is 30 minutes. So that's usually what happens with the warnings. They're 30 minutes long. So he just needs to make sure he doesn't mock anyone in his Moyocky way.
Did you just mock Moyoc?
Yeah.
No, I just said in his Moyocky way, the way he does. That's all I was saying.
Well, that's implying that he is a person who constantly mocks people.
Oh my god.
You're implying his character to be one of mocking people.
Okay, listen. Hold on. No.
I'm messing with you. Calm down.
Okay.
It's hard to tell, though, isn't it? Some people.
It can be, yeah.
That. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely it is. I don't put it past people to be actually upset about something like that. But yeah, I am just kidding.
Playing games here.
Mm-hmm.
Having fun playing laser tag.
So we have to interpret what you're saying then?
Sure.
Right.
Is that why we end up with circular arguments? Because people are just imagining what other people are saying and arguing against that imagination, and then the other person's arguing against an imagination of what that other person's imagining they're imagining, and it just becomes.
Well, no, this would be more. This would be more a matter of the problem of straw men, not of circular logic.
What I'm looking for is to find honest people. That's what I'm looking for. But obviously, if people are just bullshitting and
what are you doing looking for honest people in a flat Earth server?
This isn't a flat Earth server,
What?
is it?
Is that? I was going to say, is that what this is?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realise you were. Are you a flat earther? I'm sorry, I didn't realise. We don't want to be upsetting you.
We don't want to be interpreting what you say wrongly.
Yeah. I know I'm not a flat earther, so if this is a flat earther, a server, then you must be a flat earther, right?
So it is a flat Earth server on the basis that the owner and all of the moderation all believe in a flat Earth or a very adjacent kind of thing where maybe they don't want to say flat
We
Earth, but
believe
at
it's
least
not a ball.
non-spherical.
Listen, can you say we believe there's no ball? There's no sphere.
No, because that's the same as flat Earth.
No. Well, say it that way then. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to say the truth, Lori.
Lori?
I was just watching on YouTube, and I heard this was a flat Earth server, so I figured I'd come hang out.
Yeah, welcome.
Friends.
It is. Some people don't refer to themselves as flat earther just because the idea of, exactly, mountains and shit, and people are retarded. So
it not being flat is a good reason.
Well, I mean, it's got topography. It's basically like a sandbox, not basically flat. So it's sandbox Earth. You can put it that way.
Which is why I've given y'all the name of Flirt. F-L-E-R-T. Flat level Earth realm with topology.
I call it my sandbox.
You're naming people. You're putting people, finding people a nice little group to put them in, are you?
Yep, I needed a new abbreviation I could use in chat because some words seem to be restricted while globehead retards is perfectly legal to type in the chat.
Wow, you type that in often, do you?
Kool-Aid.
No, but I've been called it enough times.
People are individuals? Do you think you should judge somebody on their individual characteristics or as a group?
Both.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say,
but if they say they don't belong to that group, you are still lumping them in that group. It's very disingenuous of you.
Okay.
Do you know why we have group?
Let's cut the bullshit. What shape is the Earth?
Who cares?
All sorts of shapes.
Hang on. He asked me what shape is the Earth. Hang on. I don't believe that Earth needs a shape. You're welcome.
So we have a 3D object without a shape?
We can measure all the elevation
What
changes.
is that object? What's that object?
We can measure it. We can measure it.
So it's clearly physical because we're standing on it.
It's
we're not falling
measurable.
through it.
Yes.
Hold on. Yeah, Bev. No, yeah, it has been measured first order.
You're right. And it's been measured to be an oblate spheroid. But you guys reject those measurements or disapprove of
Where
them.
is that measurement?
Which one would you like?
Yeah. Which measurements have you got?
The one you just said was measured.
Yeah, the oblate.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, Kool-Aid, can you provide the oblate measurements, please?
The transatlantic arc of the parallel compared with the transatlantic
Sounds
arc
like
of
you're
India.
describing something. Do you have any original source documents that show their measurements, please?
You want me to? Sure, I can link mctune.net.
No, come on. Not MacToon.
Okay, just let the crickets go.
You didn't hear the double speak out of Mattoon the other day? Come on, man. We don't talk about Mattoon here.
Hold on. For laughing and mocking, that's a 30-minute timeout, right?
What, for you saying that you would cite MacToon?
Hey, funny.
Yeah,
things
nobody
and
mocked.
then not expect us to
Nobody
laugh.
mocked.
You said funny. You said something really funny.
And then you guys decided to mock, and because I'm a Glober, you're more than welcome to mock me. But if a Glober
Well, I think citing
even
McToon gives you like a
chuckles-
15-minute ban, yeah?
Yeah,
30
citing
30
MacToon should be an automatic ban for a week.
See, Bev said something funny, and we laughed at him as well. So
Because this
don't
isn't
get
a
butthurt
flip.
about
This
being
isn't a
laughed
flat
at.
Earth server.
Did you laugh
Do you
at
need a
him,
safe space?
or
We
did
got
you-
one over here on the side.
Did you laugh at him, or did you laugh at what he said?
No,
Because
it
it was a
both-
bit different when
both the
Kool-Aid
same.
was speaking.
I mean,
I
Kool-Aid
laughed
was
at-
saying about citing McToon,
Yeah, that's
which
what
is
I laughed
funny.
at. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the documents on his webpage. What's the problem?
Seems rather toxic.
Well, let me show you this Alex Jones source that I have. He's got all the documents.
Do you know where McToon got all of his sources from?
Alex Jones?
Yeah, Cosmo give him all of the level ones. All of those definitions that have little highlighted bits where it says curvature. That's Cosmonaut, the troll. That's where he got all of those sources from. So I mean, where does he get all the rest of his sources from?
This one is linked back to the NOAA library.
Mm-hmm.
.gov/docs.
Go on. What's it say?
It's the transatlantic arc of the transatlantic arc of the trilateration of the American arc of the parallel.
Are you gonna post it?
Yep, there you go.
Trilateration. What's that? That's
Transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel.
Trilateration is 3 straight lines. It's a triangle, right?
Oh my god.
It is though, isn't it? I mean, don't say oh my god. Just confirm. Trilateration is 3 straight lines, right?
This isn't talking about trilateration now.
Oh, is that not what he just said?
I was wrong when I said the word.
You said the wrong words.
I said the name. Yes. Yeah. When I stumbled over my words and I said the wrong words, I said the wrong words.
Okay, right.
The
So
name
what did you
of it
mean then?
is-
What did you mean then? Triangulation.
If I'm allowed to finish.
Maybe we should let's fix the word.
No, okay.
Come on,
Go ahead,
guys.
you guys talk.
It said triangulation. Yeah, I see.
Okay. Are we gonna let people speak, or are we gonna have mods over speaking people?
Go on, off you go.
Let him finish his sentence. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Transcontinental triangulation and the American arc of the parallel.
A couple of problems there. Triangulation. Triangles have 3 straight lines and 3 angles adding up to 180 degrees. And you've also got the word parallel. Parallels only exist in Euclidean geometry, which is the place where we get triangles with 3 straight lines.
I mean, you can argue what the name of the document is.
Mm-hmm.
You can argue what's in it, but at the end of the day, I don't care because they're getting accurate distances and you're afraid to say what you think.
Do you know where the arc bit comes from?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it's all straight lines and triangles. So do you know where the arc comes from?
Might be from the spherical excess that was measured.
From when they look at the lights in the sky. Did you not know that?
And they measure the spherical excess?
There's no such thing as spherical excess, is there?
There's not?
Seems to be.
Spherical
Seems to be.
access.
Yeah.
Not access, excess.
So you're saying that they measure triangles? Well, with what? Go on. I can't say it. Sounds ridiculous.
Spherical excess.
Spherical access.
So have you ever heard of something called a parallel curve? Curve being parallel? Have you ever heard of that?
Nah.
It's insane, right?
Yeah, parallel straight lines. That's the only definition I've ever heard of parallel. Straight lines.
Really? That's the only one you heard? I thought you heard a lot of them been described to you.
I call the other one concentric circles, but I mean, what would you call it?
Okay. Yeah.
So
circles.
If I'm driving, sorry, DP, I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
That's all right. I'm just saying that circles share a centre. That makes them of the same centric, centre orientated.
So what about this curve? The curve that I posted in chat.
Can I finish? Hello.
No.
They're not parallel. Circles are sharing the same centre, centric. They're not parallel.
Okay. Well, what about a curve like I posted in chat? That's not circles.
No, but curves share the same centre, don't they?
Do they?
The point of the radius of the curve has to be the same for the curves to share the same arc.
No. Wouldn't be true.
Really?
Are you guys building a video game? Why are we talking about 2D shapes?
No, we're just talking about geometry and the words we use. A lot of people
they're
get
not
confused
using
by
the
them.
same word. They're using different words. I don't think definitions are in line here.
What about
That's
this
what
one?
it sounds like to me.
Those aren't circles. Those are square circles, squircles.
Square circles.
Squircles.
They're squircles.
Nice.
Yeah. So how do we call that? Because they're locally parallel. So like how do we deal with that?
Are they circles?
No way. Why are you talking
No, they're
about
not.
that?
They're not circles.
I'm just saying.
And yet they appear to be parallel. How can
Is
that
this-
happen?
Appear to be.
Is this supposed to demonstrate like a bird's eye view or something of the ball?
No, this is to demonstrate that when you guys say parallel and straight lines and all of these words, there is more to it than just parallel straight lines.
More to it than the
Nothing
way
else to
they're
say.
defined. Yeah.
So-
There's more to it than the way they're defined within geometry.
There's
Is
more
that what you're
to it
saying?
than. There's
So
more
you're
to it
redefining.
than.
Are you redefining geometry here?
No, so there's more to
No.
it than the way you.
Mhm.
Are you gonna let me finish speaking?
I'm just clarifying what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, what I'm trying to
Because
do
it sounds to me like
is
you're
show
trying to
to you.
redefine geometry.
No, I'm trying to show to you that there are more than the definitions you're trying to propose.
So you are
The
trying
ones
to
you're
redefine
proposing,
geometry.
the ones you're proposing aren't the end all be all of geometry.
It's the way it's defined. It's the way it's defined. So you are trying to redefine what has already been defined within geometry. Well done, you.
You are trying to say that your definition is the end all be all. I am
It's the way
clearly
it's
showing
defined.
you.
It's
I
the way
am
it's defined,
clearly
Johnny.
showing you that
No,
that
you're
is
not.
not
You're not
correct.
clearly showing anything. You're just posting squircles.
Yeah. Yes.
So in your
Because
mind,
that is
there's
squircle.
actually, Gummy, in your mind, there's actually a square and a circle combined called a squircle.
That's more just a funny name you call something that's kind of in between a square and a circle. It's neither. I'm not saying that they're the combination of both. It's essentially a square with rounded corners.
But it's not a square, though. We cannot call it a
Yes.
square, right?
You can't call it a square, and you can't call it a circle. So I funnily call it squircle because it's kind of in between the two.
Can I have a question? Can I ask a question, please?
Go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, Gummy. When you said you call it, do you mean I call it, or that's what you call it? Because you said you call it, so therefore it's not you. You're putting it onto the other person. As far as I'm concerned, so you're saying I call it a squircle, or do you call it a squircle?
I called it a squircle.
So why did you say you call it a squircle then? Why didn't you say I call it a squircle?
Stop up!
Did I say
the audience? Because the audience listening will say that everybody else in the room will be calling it a squircle, whereas just you are calling it a squircle.
Did I say that you guys are calling this a squircle?
You said you call it a squircle.
No, I said you can call it a squircle.
No, you said you call it a squircle.
You guys are
This is
I
brilliant.
love
I love
splitting
it.
hairs. That's why I'm enjoying this.
I really don't think I said you call it squircle, but if I did, then I misspoke.
Okay, because the definition is in the detail, isn't it?
Sure.
Lovely.
Which is why I'm pointing out that the definitions you guys throw out aren't always the end all be all.
It's always been defined.
Well, yesterday we had logos being redefined. Now, today we have a squircle, both a square and a circle. This is just amazing.
It's not both a square and a circle. I've explained to you it's neither square or a circle. It is a bit in between.
A squircle.
Yes, that is what I called it. But
This
that's
is
not
great. We can add that to the new lexicon, a squircle. Today we have a new word.
Squircle
That's amazing.
access. I mean,
Yeah.
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 So I clearly didn't make this term up more myself when it has its own Wikipedia page about the squircle.
But there's actually a Wikipedia page on the squircle?
Yes, and the definition is a squircle is a shape intermediate between a square and a circle.
I'm behind
Isn't that how you make a Wikipedia page? You just some person just gets on Wikipedia and writes it in, and then presses save, and it's a Wikipedia page, right?
No.
Now, let me ask you this: does a squircle have any? Does a squircle have any vertices?
Vertices? No.
Well, by definition, anything like taking the shape of angles has to have a vertice. So I don't think it could fall into the category of a square due to this fact alone.
Yeah, that's why we don't call it a square. And it's also not
a square.
Yes, I have not called it a square.
Well,
I'm going to look at the swangle.
You can't even halfway imply it.
You can't halfway imply it? What are you basing that on?
Because you made this squircle like with the SQU, implying that there's like some form of a square within it. Like
I wasn't the one who made this term up.
I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying.
Well, then why'd you say you?
Inaccurate.
Why'd you say you then?
Because you brought it up. You invoked it, and I'm shooting you down, bud.
Yeah, but you didn't say you said. You said you made, as if I made the term up.
Don't take offense. I'm just having conversation.
The devil's in the detail. I'm just being specific about it.
Dude,
Okay?
you did make it up.
We're all
it
friends
just
here.
happens to be there that somebody else had also made it up because it is
No,
a made-up
I did
thing.
not.
It's not a real thing, right?
I did not make it up personally. No.
You just did before, or did you already know about it?
He's just using it.
The reason I know the term is because I've seen it before. I didn't suddenly make it up in my mind earlier.
You saw it in Wiki?
Well, we made it up ages
I'm
ago.
so disappointed now. I thought you were so clever and witty, Gummy.
I know, I did too. I thought it was he was talking about a square and a circle, and he called it a squircle. I was like, hey, that's cool. He made up that word. Now he's saying he's seen it before. It's in Wiki. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not that smart. I'm not that.
I agree.
I don't have that good of an imagination. I'm not creative.
I thought it was pretty cool, but it's very alluring at the fact that, like I said, man, you can't even call it like humoristically call it that without being like intelligible, because like I said, there's no vertices. There's no vertices involved within it, so it's kind of quite stupid, honestly. Like when you really think about it.
Well, I have to say my favorite is the turv.
Yeah, the turv. Yeah,
turv is my favorite.
It's a curved tangent. If nobody knew what it was, it's
that was straight
Scott
from
Veach.
Scott Veach.
Now he definitely did make that one up, but there might be a Wikipedia page for it by now. You never know.
Have a look, Gummy. Turv. Have a look for turv on Wikipedia.
I gotta stick up for Gummy. I can't believe my eyes. There is such a thing in Wikipedia called the squircle.
Turf. I looked it up when he said it because I knew I was laughing. And it's
I'm not surprised. They got wave in the dictionary as being a fucking noun.
It's based on a super ellipse. It's a shape between a circle and a square. Unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
There's a ton of contradictions within the dictionary, man, and nobody seems to want to address it or make any changes, all due to the fact that it's supporting their bullshit conceptual model.
It's a popular consensus. That's all a dictionary is. It's a popular consensus of what the words that get used, and more people that say it, the more it'll get put into dictionaries, because that's what people say. And a lot of people make shit up and then can't be wrong, so they just change the words in the dictionary.
That's not right, man. When this is supposed to be our resource to point to and base ourselves upon, we can't like have a general rule of thumb of majority rules. You know what I'm saying? Things are defined as such by such because of the properties and attributes and the explanation behind it. You can't just go inverting that because you got 100 people shouting falsehoods. That's just not fucking right, man.
But is language defined for people or by people?
You forgot about Russellisms, right? Everybody is now their own boss. Everything's relative to them, so they can make up their own definitions of it. So, like, it's not popular consensus. It's each individual can make up their own definitions of whatever they want now, and that's the way it's gone.
Yeah. Well, we cannot allow linguistics to be demolished in this way. I mean, this is going to just send humanity spiraling into chaos. Like, we have to be able to hold fast to the words we use and define them as such based on the logic.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, and Gummy, let me just say one thing. Based on your resource, you see how I backed you up? Your own resource, though, says that it's neither a square or a circle. So you can't say it's a square, bro.
I haven't... How many times do I have to say that? I never called it a square. I never called it a circle. I called it a squircle.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. We're good. We're good. We're going to get that clear. All right.
And that was a stupid word. I thought it was cute at first, but come to find out it was very stupid, and I'm upset you're doing that.
I am sorry that I brought a new word into your knowledge.
Gummy.
Well, if it had value, if there was substance, if there was logic asserted upon this word, I would be thanking you. But this is just adding more bullshit to the table that we don't need.
It just tells you two things that it's not. I mean, that's
ridiculous.
Brilliant. The moment you can do that, it's like not just not one thing, it's not something else as well. I mean,
it's not two things.
You realize that's not stupid.
No, that's brilliant, isn't it?
It's actually not a triangle either.
Yeah.
So it's a squircle.
Exactly. It's not two things, bro. This is what it is. It's not two things. It's astonishing.
Well, we know what it isn't. So what is it?
Well, we know two things that it isn't.
How did we get
Bro, this
to
reminds
this point?
me of you ever see Hot Dog, Not a Hot Dog? This guy for like Silicon Valley makes this like $1 billion app, and it like identifies food, and they're like, oh my god, you just point it at food and it tells you what it is. It's like, yeah, but it can only tell you if it's a hot dog or not a hot dog. So he takes a picture of pizza and it goes, not a hot dog. He's like, what?
People will buy it though, right? I bet he did really well.
Oh yeah, it was like $1 million seller.
But this is where we're at. Go on, spot on. Is it? This is where we're at now. Where defining things, there's a conversation about things that are defined, but then you can define something by what it's not. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I mean, that's Russellism. That's as ridiculous as non-Euclidean geometry. But I mean, everybody's got used to it. Defining as something that it isn't. Become normal.
Well, it's not. You're not defining it as something it just isn't. You're defining it because it's got attributes of two things, but it's neither of those two things. Like, for example, the word smog. It is neither smoke or fog. It's smog. It's a combination of both.
So what is the commonality that it has with a square? The defining characteristics of a square. What does it have in common with that, please?
A spherical square?
No, we'll start with the square. Oh, wait, start with the circle, right? What is there that has a commonality with a circle?
That it's circular.
And what's a circle? A circular mean?
Means that it has the same radius to the center.
Right, and this new shape has a same radius, does it?
No.
Oh, So it's not that. It's not the radius that it has common with the circle.
Not all over.
What
not
is
all
it,
over, because that. So parts of it will look like it's got the radius of a circle, while other parts will look like it's got the radius of a square.
The radius of a square?
Yes.
Wow.
Did you just say the radius of a square?
He did.
Radius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gummy, take a break, dude.
As Rakio would say, maybe you want to take
Feel
a
bad for you,
mulligan on
Gummy.
that one?
Take a break, Gummy.
Talk about redefining geometry.
Hold on. So, do you know what
This is
radius?
incredible.
When you research squircles, guys, be careful.
I'm throwing in the towel, man. I'm throwing in the towel for
Penrose.
Gummy Bear. He's too much damage.
Whoop whoop.
So,
Penrose
do you know
alert,
what? Do
Penrose
you know what
alert.
radius is
Don't try and
defined as
justify
in
it.
geometry?
I can.
No, hold on.
I got it. I thought about this. I got the answer. It's a
Hello,
circle.
Zanuck.
No, hold on.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
What is the definition of a radius in geometry?
It's the circle, isn't it? It's the bit from
No.
the center to the circumference of a circle.
No, it is
Yeah,
a
it
line
defines the curve.
segment from the center to the perimeter.
Yeah, to the circumference. That's exactly what I just said.
That's exactly what he said.
Okay. So
No, he's making it from any shape.
Yeah. So why did
He's
you
saying
say
any
no?
shapes.
Oh, perimeter.
He's saying from the center of any shape.
Perimeter. Yeah.
So a square, an oval.
That's why I said
So-
circumference. You see.
So why, if you can't talk about radius on anything other than a circle, then why on the Wikipedia article of radius is there a section about regular polygons? And I want to say, yeah, square is a regular polygon, by the way, just so you know. It's almost like these words have a deeper meaning in geometry than you guys get.
It's almost
It's
like someone like
interesting.
you has gone and wrote
I'll
it
explain it to you,
there because
man.
they want to win an argument for a radius of a square. Because it's fucking
I'll explain how it falls
ridiculous.
apart.
What about the radius of a hypercube? Because that's also part
Hang
of
on.
this.
Buster was coming in here. Give Buster some space. He's not spoken yet, so please, Buster.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you.
Oh, it was
sorry.
me.
Go on.
Excuse
Ed.
me. Fundamental.
What's the root word of radius? Isn't it radiant? And isn't a radiant an arc? So by
I don't know what
definition,
the
to have
root
a
word of it
radius, by definition, to have a radius, you have to have an arc. And if you don't have an arc within your vectors or your tangents or whatever you've got that you're analyzing, then you don't have a radius.
Hey, Gummy, I got two questions for you. One, with a square, a regular square with a side length of 1 unit, what's the radius?
It'll follow a formula. It's not a constant radius.
No, well, there you go. So your radius is an infinite amount of radius options then.
No, not infinite.
Yeah.
Each point on the perimeter will have a radius.
Yeah, there's infinite points of the perimeter.
Yes, of course, but there's not an infinite amount of different values that it can obtain.
Yes,
for
there
a
is.
given square. No.
Yes, there is. You can bisect a line as many times as you want, creating new points between your points. But anyways, you understand that your radius of a square would be 0.5 on a square going perpendicular to one of the faces from the center, but it would be it'd be half of square root of 2 to the corner of the square?
Yes.
There you go. So which one is the radius?
And that would be if you
That's why we
have
only
a
use this
unit
word
square.
in circles.
Okay, so with the unit
the
square,
definition of radius requires a circle or
arbitrary.
Circle or sphere, does it not?
No, it does not.
Then why does every source I look at say that?
Right. Do you guys not
Then you were
realise yet you're arguing with somebody who's just going to make shit up?
Well, I want him to answer this question.
He can't.
You're right.
Yeah, I can't because I get interrupted before I'm allowed to say anything.
Okay, so that's just that's not even an argument. So go ahead. I'm waiting.
What was the question?
Yeah, what was the question? See, you're just wasting time, man.
Well, I keep getting interrupted. What am I
Dude,
supposed
no
to
one's talking. Just not you.
Well, I got interrupted right as you asked the question, so it's.
Why do all the definitions that I look up regarding radius require a circle or a sphere?
Because you're not looking deep enough.
I see lots of websites saying radius of a square. I mean, I'm not sure what you're talking about. It seems like it's a legit mathematical function.
Radius of a square. I've heard it all now.
Well, there's lots of stuff out there on it.
And you wonder why we're arguing all day. It's because we're literally talking to crazy people.
It's because you don't like definitions in geometry.
If we're going to talk about the radius of a square, then you might as well tell us the color of it as well.
Well, why is there so many sites, science sites and math sites that cite the topic of radius of a square?
What is the root word of a radius?
I don't care what the root word is. It seems like there's a lot of sites that have this mathematical function.
You should understand.
So there seems to be a legitimate...
You should understand the word to use, man. You can't just throw words out there, dude, and assuming they're being used as such. Like, should be understood on the words you're using.
All I can tell you is there's a lot of mathematical sites that seem to deal with this topic. So why do you disagree with those mathematical sites?
If I had to guess, Dicelo, I'd probably say ray, meaning line or something, like a ray, and dias being related to like disc. So a disc line.
And also, squares and circles are geometric shapes, so why are you looking at mathematical sites and not geometric sites?
This is geometry.
Geometry is a discipline of math.
Yeah, but you're getting the definitions for geometry from your math sites. Why don't you go to geometry sites?
If geometry is a subset of math,
no, it's not. Yeah, but why
no,
are
it's
you
not.
Math
Who said geometry is not a subset of math?
I said that more people will back me up on that.
Okay, so geometry is not a subset of math?
Why are you looking at math sites to get geometric definitions?
Because geometry is a subset of math.
It is
Why don't you look at geometry sites to get geometric definitions?
Hold on. Can we explore this a little bit?
It's like trying to find out how to fix your car and going to a cooking website.
Hold on, DP. Can we explore the geometry is not a subset of math a little bit?
Yes, please.
I'm interested in that.
No, that's not what we're doing. We're not changing subjects just because you want to go into a philosophical idea of an argument that can go round in circles. Because geometry is geometry, right? If you're looking for geometrical reasons of things and definitions, you look in geometry.
We live in a three-dimensional world. We use your two-dimensional geometry just as a basic beginning stage to understand the shape and nature of our world.
And you think you guys disagreeing with definitions is not circular?
No, listen, no. We're pointing out the fact that in your world, you guys have to flip reality, just like fictitious forces and real forces, okay? So I think, I could be wrong, that math is rather a subset of geometry. Because geometry...
Could you please tell me what the purpose of squaring a circle is, or so what the radius of a square is?
The radius of a square.
I have no idea what it's for.
You want to finish your sentence, Travis? Hang on. Moyork man spoke all over Travis there, so Travis, please finish the end of your sentence.
That's basically it. I was just going to flip the order. I would put geometry first, math second.
I didn't speak over anybody from my end.
Me
stop speaking.
Me too, Travis.
Okay. Now, when it comes to one of the important ways that you would use something like this is when you're talking about a polar coordinate system, where you're defining positions based on their radius and angle to the origin. So if you wanted to draw up a square within a polar coordinate system, then you'd need to be able to define the radius of a square.
So your model is dictating, yeah? That's what you're saying.
No, it's not.
Where's the square?
This must happen.
Within mathematics, there is such a thing as a polar coordinate system, and which uses a radial coordinate, a radial distance
of a square.
And
Yes. Do you have to talk over him, or do you get muted too?
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, square. Make sure everybody understands. He's talking about a square now.
Yes, you can define a square within a polar coordinate system using the radius of a square, which will be a function of the angle.
I just want to say that squares only exist two-dimensionally and don't have anything pertaining to a pole. Pole is a three-dimensional inverse of its endpoints, but this can only exist three-dimensionally. So your square is not accurate enough. Maybe if you want to go to the cube, but I'm not going to accept the square in three dimensions.
But we're not talking about you holding something in front of you. We're talking about math, which doesn't always need to be concepts.
Concepts we use to define three-dimensional reality, but you're stuck in two dimensions.
Logical concepts.
Trying to uphold your three-dimensional understanding with two-dimensional introduction concepts of geometry.
Sure, if you want to call it that. The thing is that it is accurate. It is accurate from page to reality. That's the important part.
Can I
your
just come in?
two-dimensional square is an introduction into three-dimensional geometry, bud. And you've used this as your understanding. You haven't gone far enough.
There are squares. Solid geometry, three-dimensional geometries in book 11, that is Euclidean, definitely. That's three-dimensional geometry. It exists in reality. There is a geometry of reality. But I'm just checking. It's your man here that, right? Are you talking about two-dimensional geometry?
Can you hand me a square?
No, I'm not. Who's that?
You have a square you can give me. I need an extra one.
Dyslo, I'm not talking to you. I want to have a word with, who was it? Kool-Aid?
It was probably me, Gummy Bear.
Right, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, is it you that's talking about two-dimensional geometry? Because me and Dyslo, we're thinking three-dimensional, right? Are you talking about a two-dimensional geometry, or are you talking about three-dimensional geometry?
So I was talking about polar coordinate system.
Yes, is that on a two-dimensional geometry or three-dimensional?
Let me finish my statement and you'll know. Let me speak to finish and you'll know.
Go on then.
So a polar coordinate system is a two-dimensional one. Yep. However, you can extend it into three-dimensional, but then it would be called a spherical coordinate system. That it is the equivalent of the 3D version.
Polar geometry could never exist in 2D. This is not accurate.
Okay, well then take it up with the people that invented polar coordinate systems.
The square that you put on that, did you put the square on the 2D geometry, or when you made it into the spherical geometry, into the three-dimensional? Which one? Where did you put the square?
I was talking about the 2D one when I was talking about the square, yes.
So you put a square on your two-dimensional geometry, right? With your polar coordinates. Yeah, right. You like Dyslo said, a square's two-dimensional, so you can only place you could put a square on your two-dimensional geometry would be within Euclidean space. Because that's the only place squares exist.
Yeah, conceptually.
In Euclidean space.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Polar coordinate system is still within Euclidean space. It's
abstract.
just using polar coordinates.
No, man. You cannot invoke abstract. You cannot invoke abstract laws upon three-dimensional reality. It doesn't work that way.
We're not
talking about abstract toxic. I mean, just constantly interrupting. Abstract. I mean,
it is. You're talking about a fucking square, the pole of a square. A pole is three-dimensional, a square is two-dimensional.
I think
there's no segue between the two.
So we're still within Euclidean space, and all of these are things within Euclidean space. If you want to complain, then complain to Euclid and his books. But I'm not the one who made any of this up. Yeah, I am merely relaying information.
Yeah, Euclidean space. Thumbs up from me. 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do know that there is such a thing as 2D Euclidean space.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you get to book 11, you go into solid geometry, which is 3D. Euclidean.
Yeah. it doesn't go there from the beginning because it's very useful to know
Book 11.
that 3D. Yeah,
Book
book
11.
11.
Yeah.
Because you cannot get to 3-dimensional without talking about 2-dimensional and 1-dimensional
You have to do
first.
all of the proofs that lead up there, right?
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Of them.
Yeah.
So all of the proofs that get you to book 11 are all valid, right? They prove squares are only available in Euclidean space, right? They sort of prove the triangle axiom, and that triangles only have 180 degrees. It's fantastic when you get into it.
Don't go sticking a pole. Don't go sticking your 3-dimensional pole into a 2-dimensional square, because now you're talking Narnia talk.
When you hear the word pole, what do you think? Because I don't think that we were using it the same way.
I think opposing ends.
Oh well, no. Then that's not the same way you use the word pole within.
So how are you using it?
As in, how do I word this?
A point?
Stick.
Well, yeah, a pole, a point, but it's what's the word I'm looking for?
Is it an axis? Is it?
It's like it's a fixed point of which all your distances is calculated from.
Okay, so it's a single point.
Yes. Usually you would call it the point of origin, so 0, 0,
your axis,
or 0, 0, 0. Yeah.
But there's no measure upon your axis, so this is all 2-dimensional rigmarole.
Well, a pole exists within 3 dimensions as well. It's still a 0, 0, 0. So when you're talking about a sphere, it's saying that the distance from the pole is equal in all directions.
A pole in 3 dimension and 2 dimension are completely different.
Well, no, not within what we're talking about. You can talk about poles as in like North Pole, South Pole, but we're talking about pole as in the coordinate system pole. Words have a bit of different meaning in different contexts, and with the context of coordinate systems, the pole is usually the point of origin, 0, 0.
Making up his own
I understand in your 2D concept.
I'm not making up anything. I'm just relaying.
3D pole doesn't segue completely over to a 2D pole in your understanding. Like these are.
Well, no, it's the same point. You just add on another axis of dimensionality to it to get 3 dimensions. Like, what are you complaining about? I don't quite get it.
Are you confusing a pole with a point, or is that what's going on?
Yeah, he's yeah. He has to have a point of origin to conceive his 2 dimensions, but when he transfers it over to the 3rd dimension, he's like, it's not segueing smoothly from his understanding.
No, it's still the same thing in 3 dimensions. You just have a 3rd axis to work upon. I don't see what your contention is right now.
Your XY
I don't
grid square coordinates, and then you can add Z to it, right?
Yeah.
It's just Cartesian coordinate system, yeah, with squares on the bottom. Yeah. Everything's fine.
Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of confused, because it seems like he has a contention with what I've said, but I don't quite get what the contention is. Yeah. So I'm just a bit confused. I don't think
there's any contention now. He's like absolutely certain we live on an XY plane, 2D, that you can then build a Z axis up from and call that like an elevation change. I mean, they're fine.
Yeah.
Where elevation is always 0?
Yeah, all perpendiculars to the plane would be parallel. I mean, there's plenty of proofs within Euclidean geometry and the solid geometry. Well, it's one of the first ones.
Couldn't I move it into the 3rd dimension and just keep elevation as 0?
Yeah.
Then it'd be synonymous with being a plane?
Yeah, the perpendiculars to the plane is the other dimension, right? The plane being the 2D, XY, or length times breadth, as you know, squares. type thing, and then the other one is the z-axis.
I think this all came from mocking the concept of a radius of a square. Have we determined that the radius of a square has value and is a useful mathematical or geometric method of doing things?
Oh no, that's ridiculous. Squares don't have radiuses.
All right. Well, they do by the definition you provide.
You could make a circle with the radius of the corner points of the square. So you could have a radius of the circle within the square and a radius of the circle without the square, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's talking about an inscribed. I'm not sure if it's talking about an inscribed square. I don't really understand this. Still waiting on Gummy and them to kind of explain it further, but it seems to have utility.
Yeah, so essentially,
this idea of a radius of a square it's entirely different. Like it's not a circle. Okay, it's just finding the line from the middle to the corner. Okay, it's not even like what we're trying to say. Like it serves no purpose in this conversation.
It's just
something else
diagonal, right?
Literally, all it's saying is that if you're at the center line, the point of origin, the radius of the square would be how far in each direction I have to move.
If we're being distinct, though, that's not the radius. That's just a way of describing it.
Well,
so it deserves to have a different term, but for some reason, you guys have adopted radius. It doesn't fit, though.
Is there a way to measure this point of origin?
Within geometry, this is a valid way of using the word radius.
Well, that's great, but it serves an entirely different definition. And it doesn't even...
Like the perimeter and circumference are different. Those are two different things.
Well, the circumference would be the distance around the perimeter of a 2D
no.
Yeah,
see, that's why they have two words, because circumference is the quote-unquote perimeter of a circle, which is unique because of the radius, and then you have the perimeter of every other object. So the circle is the circumference, every other object, perimeter.
Are you sure circumference is only for circles?
Yep, that's true. That.
Yeah.
You got to look at the root words, man.
Absolutely sure, dude. Well, because that's the whole point. Is because the perimeter you just can measure distances from the point, but the circle it's a uniform.
I don't know where.
Okay, yeah, and ellipses.
Pretty simple.
I don't know why like this certain sect of understanding tries to like redefine reality in its own perception. Like it has to be uniform with the rest of reality. You can't have a radius that's not a circle or a sphere. So like to use the term is kind of it's a misplacement of the definition.
Is there a calculable measure upon your point of origin within your 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional nexus, or what you would call your pole or axis? Or is this conceived as such? Like, is there a way to measure this point of origin, or is this all inclusive? Like, how do you differentiate that?
Well, the point of origin is just a defined point. You define that point. The same way that,
I understand.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is does this point have measure to itself? Like, are you including that?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's a 0-dimensional point.
Okay, so it's an abstract conception that we use to kind of as a rule of thumb to measure, but it doesn't have necessarily a Cartesian locus.
Well, once you place it, it has location.
Well, by your standard, all of Euclidean space is a concept. So yes, of course, the point of origin is also a concept, because it's within the concept of Euclidean space.
Euclidean space is not a concept.
Well, then you'd have to take that up with ISO.
Is it empirical?
Euclidean 3D space is, yeah. That's what we are living in. What the fuck?
I don't know. I've never met Euclid.
No.
I've never seen space.
No one
Sorry,
did. No one. You're not
empirical-
alone with that, by the way.
Sorry, empirical is inductive. Geometry is deductive.
Well.
Because I'm not the one who's disagreeing here. I feel like it's Dyslow and everyone else is agreeing.
What is your point then? What was it that you were trying to get across to us? That we all live in Euclidean three-dimensional space. We have an XY coordinate system with Z being the other dimension, right? So a two-dimensional square grid on the floor where squares fit, and elevation measured on the other axis, right? That is literally three-dimensional Euclidean space.
For the last bit here, I've been defending Euclidean space from Dyslow because he's been complaining about it being a concept and all.
Okay, but you do agree that we live in Euclidean space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. You're one of the first, Gummy. Thank you. Reality.
I slightly disagree with that. We live in reality, and Euclidean geometry backs that up.
So does spherical geometry, though.
No, it doesn't. Oh, Gummy Bear, can I just say something to you, please?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I come out with the devil's in the detail, and you copied that. Can you please find something else to say? Because, that's my saying, so therefore I think, you shouldn't copy my saying because I'm a stick of shit.
Do you have a right to that claim? Do you have a patent or copyright?
I asked you.
Trademark?
Did I tell you? I asked you, didn't I?
Yeah. I only used it that once just to
Just to mock him.
Just to be mock him. Yeah.
How old are you?
That's what you can do is mock.
How?
Who are you asking, Mark?
The devil in the details guy.
Hello there, yes.
How old are you?
Will that affect anything in your life?
Yes.
Well, that is on you then.
It doesn't even have to be, exact. I'm just. How many decades old are you?
30s, 40s.
Okay, if he's in the 30s, well, the devil's in the details.
What's this got to do with anything?
No, that's
Zanuck? What has this got to do with anything?
The devil's in the detail has.
Zanuck, just leave it.
No,
I'm not
Karen, it'll make him feel better. No, it'll make him feel better. Let him carry on.
And why are you calling him Zanuck?
Because he is Zanuck.
Oh, okay. I don't sound anything like Zanuck.
Okay, apparently you're Zanuck.
Kind of do.
That's a little bit of pareidolia there.
No, there's a little Zanuck in your voice there, but
there is a little, but not a lot at all.
We all know you're Zanuck on a sock account, Whack Man. So let's drop the pretense.
Okay, cool. Devil's in the Detail predates you if you're only 30-something.
I am the first one that said this in this arena, aren't I? So it doesn't matter.
It predates you a long time, though.
Yep, but I brought this to this arena.
Well, do you think that it's the first time it's been used in this server?
I don't know if it's the first time. I can think a lot of things, but I don't know. Do you think it's the first time it's been brought in this arena?
No,
or do you know it's the first time?
I don't know whether it is, but I don't think so. But it very well could be. I just don't think it is.
Right, either you think it is or you know it is. Because I said I don't think it is, and I don't know it is. But you say you
I don't know it is.
Therefore, you've got some precognitive.
Does it
reasoning
matter?
To say that it might have been. So if you don't think it has, you might have thought somebody said it before. Is that true or not?
I think it is very likely that someone said it before, yes.
So you've just gone back on what you said because you said you thought it might have been said before.
Yes, I think it might have been said before because it is a relatively known idiom.
Yes.
That is very possibly or has possibly been used before you. Yes, I believe that is a possibility, but I don't know whether it has. I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
Talking about the radius of a square, you seem to indicate that it could be anywhere on the square, but it seems like all the definitions I'm finding it's halfway between the vertices of the square. So basically, it's the central point of the square where it meets the vertices.
Who are you talking to now?
It's talking to me probably.
Okay.
See. Like when you're talking about a polar coordinate system, it's definitely the entire perimeter of the square.
Right.
But the only thing I'm thinking is when you're talking about polar coordinate systems, you're talking about the radial distance, not necessarily a radius.
Right.
So I'm not sure about when like a mathematician says the radius of a square, if it's always analogous to the radial distance. So it is very
Circular and
possible
radial
that they're
are different.
it's very possible that they're only talking about a specific length from the origin when they say radius. But when it comes to polar coordinates, then it is part of it because it's the radial coordinates, the radial distances.
Yeah, why can't this just be something that's useful to
Because
like figure things out?
Useful. It is useful within geometry and math.
Okay, but it's not. I mean, it's just it's like a trick to figure something out.
It's not useful within the layman's usage, of course.
I mean, it might be depending on your application, but it's not.
Maybe. I don't know of any way that it's useful to the layperson. It is very useful for.
It's just a concept we should have stopped talking about a while ago.
Yes, definitely.
Sounds great.
Well, had people not mocked it, it probably would have died on the vine, but they continued to mock it as saying that it's not.
Well, I just don't know why it was brought up at all.
I don't know that.
It was brought up because of the transcontinental triangulation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we went all the way from there to freaking here because every word we bring up is complained about. And eventually we got back to radius, and I was the one who said that you can talk about the radius of a square and blah blah blah.
When you try to put more than one meaning to a word, then yeah, people's gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not putting more than one word, more than one meaning to a word. What I'm doing is I'm showing that your definition isn't the widely accepted one within geometry.
I think it's the other way around, bud.
It's the other way around, buddy.
Yeah.
This is a tactic you guys have done like throughout history is pervert the linguistics we use to hide behind these words and just kind of act as if there's nothing to see here and we've got it all figured out. But you see right through that bullshit, man.
Well, the thing is, you guys create your own ideas of the definitions, and then you
No. It came from the root definition, and it was repurposed out of its concept alone. It deserves its own word.
Connotative, bud. You have the connotative current understanding. We're holding fast to the original denotative understanding because this is what's logically implied and the basis for why it was derived as such. And you guys just carry on with this nonsense to support your phantasms, man. That's all you're doing.
Phantasms?
I mean, if you're being honest, you'll just say that
Fantasy,
the concept
yes,
helps
phantasm.
you understand what the function of your findings is. Like, that's it. Okay, the radius of a square. Well, a radius is from the center outward. Okay, so it just helps you understand. It's like a descriptor, but it's not accurate. It deserves its own term.
Well, that's your opinion of it.
Okay,
But we're
well,
not
what came
interested
first?
We're
What
not
came first?
interested in anyone's opinion.
It doesn't work that way, man.
What
it's
came
logic.
first?
It's logically implicative.
It doesn't work that way. We don't care about opinions.
Listen, the second you go against logic, you've fallen into an opinion. We're holding to the logic. You're holding into an abstract conception that fits your narrative. Okay? That's the difference.
Okay.
Logic implies we're holding to it. You understand?
So
we're not going to play the abstract game here.
What are you claiming that logic implies?
Do you want me to give you an example?
Well, for example, about radius. What are you implying? What are you saying that logic implies about the word radius?
What's the root word of radius? What's the difference between radius and circular? Radial and circular. Like you can't define. You didn't even know the difference between perimeter and circumference. Like it sounds like you need to kind of brush up on these words and not just accept things that are given to you and like actually dive into the understanding of how it came about.
Right.
Yeah. So when I don't know something, I will ask. Like I wasn't sure that was what circumference was, but I would take that down to be because I'm not taught in English. I'm taught in my native language, and so sometimes the translations aren't always that precise. And so I asked to make sure.
Was it discovered in your native language, or was it translated too?
A bit of both.
Well, you might have a little extra work to do then. It's unfortunate.
Well, what about the same for you?
We're here to help you. Oh, it's
okay.
I suffer from the same thing. Like, a lot of this is coming from like Greek and different things like this that were translated.
Exactly.
But at the same point,
we're speaking outside of the radius of your understanding.
Yeah,
I was about to say, Euclid, for example, didn't speak English. He spoke Greek. So yours is also translations. So your criticism is null and void.
No. I'm doing my part in exposing the fact that there's some issues here with how it's being used and being understood, and I'm exposing that to you, and you're willingly just denying it and accepting what you've been understood upon.
No, I'm trying to ask
without any.
You claimed that these words are logically implied to mean something, and so I asked you, what logical implication do you get for the word radius? And you delved into the fact that I didn't know for sure about the differences between perimeter and circumference, which I say is a language barrier. But the question again is, how are you saying that? How are you getting the logical implication of the word radius? How are you defining radius by logical implications? Please tell me this, because that's what your claim was before we delved into this language bullshit.
Well, you're using the word radius to talk about squares, which sounds like it's not applicable there.
We're not talking about what sounds like anything. You said you had a logical implication of the definition. Please give me that.
I didn't invoke the word. That was you, and I'm just telling you.
But you invoked knowing the logical implications.
I know that
logically get the definition. Please tell me.
I know that there's no radius involved within a square. I could tell you that, man. So here, let's look
can
up
you
radius.
logically tell me how that follows, or are you just going to give me feelings? You made a logical claim how you can imply the definition logically. Either give up and say you can't, or give us the logical implication. Give us the logic that leads to the definition, please.
So here, radius, a straight line from the center to the circumference of a circle or sphere. Where does it say square anywhere within a radius?
I'm not saying read some definition you found. You said you can logically infer the definition. That's not logically infer. You read out a definition. You said you can logically infer the meaning of the word.
Yeah, can I just do this? I mean, it's going round in circles. Can I just point out one thing? 2 pi r.
Yeah, I was just about to say that the circumference and diameter and radius are all part of pi, which is the circles, basically like ratios, right? The circumference, the diameter, the radius, those all deal with the circle and its ratios to pi. So when you try and add pi to a square,
related to the circle, yes.
We're just saying that
the whole point
pi-
of radius of a square is to find if the edges of the square were a circle. That's all it is. It all refers to the circle, man.
And that's the logic. Yeah.
You could have backed
Radius,
down ages
circumference,
ago, Gummy,
diameter.
when you said
Pi.
radius of a square, and we all went, "Don't be stupid." But
Why
you
would
had
I
to
be
carry
honest?
on.
And
You
then-
just had to
and then
keep
I
going.
showed
And then I showed you several
He said
sources that
that?
show that you're being stupid. Yes.
Oh my god.
Did you actually say it? The radius of a square, Gummy
And
Bear?
then Dyslow made the
Yeah,
comment
man.
that he can logically
Did you
imply
actually
the
say that,
definition.
Gummy
And let me speak
Calm
before
back
you
down.
freaking interrupt. And then
Yeah.
Dyslow said that he can logically imply the definition itself, only to then read the definition, which is not how you logically
We
imply
just
something.
give you the logical
radial,
definition of
radiant.
it. 2 pi r. It
there's
belongs
nothing
to
straight
all
about
of
it.
the equations of a
This
circle.
is
No, so that's not
Oh
that's
my
not the
God.
definition of R.
No, that's
or
the
radius.
proof.
That's
pedantic
that's
the
a usage
proof.
of R.
The logical
That's a
proof
usage of R.
is that it works in all of the equations to do with the circle or the sphere. Right? There's
Yes.
a proof there, right? So where
what
does
came
it?
first?
Where's it to do with the square?
What came first, using the radius, or did the radius appear from this? The answer is the radius was a thing before what you're talking about.
No, it says in postulate 3 actually that a circle can be described from any centre and any distance from that centre. That is the radius. That's how you describe a circle.
Okay, so where does he use the word radius in his books?
Come on, just back down,
He
man.
never uses the word radius in
It's
his books. So
not a
stop.
square. It is a circle.
Euclid did not use the word radius within his books. So can you
Semantic
please tell
arguments
me?
now, eh?
Can
Well
you?
done.
Yes, because you guys are complaining about the semantics, so
You've
that's
just
why
been
it's a
shown
semantical
proof
argument.
For what you asked for, the logical reason that R is related to the circle. We gave it you. We gave you all of the formulas that involve R that relate to the circle. Right?
So
Show
I
us
have not
something
said-
to do with the square. Now, please. Or back down.
I have not said.
Or what if we
that
have the radius of
Can
Earth
you
and it's
let
a
me
square?
finish speaking?
Well, maybe we have the
before you
radius
start
of Earth
speaking
and it's a
over me?
square. Well, you keep bringing up the radius of Earth. Now Earth can be a square, right? So your radius does not designate spherical Earth anymore. Congratulations, you just debunked your entire model.
Don't be
Because
so
you're
arrogant,
making
bro.
sense. Sorry.
Yeah. So if let me see, I need to catch myself again because I've lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lost it ages ago when you
I've
said
lost
a
it, yeah.
radius of a square.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
now
because
Earth
it's
can
a
be flat
mathematical
with a radius.
function that everybody knows.
The radius of the square sounds so
I was
stupid.
walking my dog and tried to throw in the towel for you a long time ago, Gummy, and you just, I mean, this
He
is
has to keep
abuse at this
going.
point.
Okay.
This is abuse.
So the
He's got to
problem
find
here,
choice.
the problem here is that when I was asking about the definition of the word radius, Bev then brings up quotes from Euclid in which he never uses the word radius, and then he complains that it's a semantic argument. Yes, you guys are complaining about the semantics of the word, and when it comes to Earth, and for example, when we say a radius, when you talk about the radius of a circle, you have a constant radius. When you talk about the radius of things like an ellipse, you don't have a constant radius, you have a changing radius. And so the radius of Earth is on average a set number, on average, which is spherical, but the reason why we call it an oblate spheroid is because it's not a constant radius. In truth, it has a bit of deviation at different points. This deviation is very small, but if you average it out, then you get this constant radius of 3959 miles. So,
You need to talk to
yes,
NASA, man.
saying radius doesn't infer a sphere. Saying a constant radius, that does infer a sphere.
It doesn't have anything to do with the square, though, does it? Nothing.
It
Zero.
can if you
Zilch.
define the radius in a very
If you define it.
specific way.
If you define it.
Yeah. Self-define it, right?
If you
Relative to
just
you.
do whatever you want with it, right?
So the thing that makes
if you just
radius,
molest its definition,
the
right.
thing that
Got
makes
it, brother.
radius
Got it.
related to a sphere is that when you keep radius constant, you get a sphere.
Tell you
But
what, tell you what.
happens? What happens when you don't keep radius constant? What if you add a function to the radius?
You just
then
said
you can
you
get
get an
ice cream.
Then
if you take an ice cream scoop
shapes
to your balls
like
and
this.
shaft, do you make a vagina?
Is this how you guys like this
Let's not resort to that.
environment?
Apparently, this is how they want it.
Apparently, this is like what you do. Is you just make definitions up on the fly.
Well, these are definitions that are out there in
and they're non-applicable.
And apparently
They're
what you
not-
like
they
doing
have-
is
they have-
bringing up
listen,
vaginas.
Listen, they have no logic behind them. This is what you guys do. You pervert the words and the understanding of them, like waves. You guys think a wave is a fucking noun, but not one of you can show me a wave of itself, because a wave is not a noun. It's what something does.
There is nothing perverse about using the radius of a square. It just
No, it is.
It is.
Can I make?
It's impossible to get these people to shut up.
Can I make one point real quick? Your definitions that you're backing up are coming from Wiki. My kids can't even use that as a source. As you overtalk me, but you want me to stop everyone from overtalking you. And our definitions are coming from Euclid, geometry.
Euclid has never used Euclid did not use the word radius a single time in his books, which I mentioned earlier. So you're not using Euclid for the definition of radius. That is incorrect.
No, we're not using it like that. We give you the proof of R. It's in every circle thing. If you take pi. Pi is the relationship of the circumference over the diameter. The diameter is twice the radius. It's related to everything to do with a circle.
When you start
every
a sentence,
every pie has crust or dough, but dough doesn't make pies only. You can have dough to make other
Why are
things.
you doing this, guys?
Because that's the logic. That's the logic. Just
It's not logic. Don't say
just
that.
because logic.
Save that for later. Save that for later.
Let me finish what I want to say before you interrupt me, please.
Why are
you
you running away to pie crusts?
No, I started talking when it was open, and now I'm being interrupted. The analogy I'm making. Are we gonna have any kind of moderation here or what? I'm being constantly overspoken.
Yeah, you're talking about fucking radiuses of squares and pie crusts.
So the analogy I made,
giant pie crust radius pizza.
The analogy I made is because of the fact that yes, circles have radiuses, but just because you're talking about a radius doesn't mean you're talking about a circle. The same way that if you're talking about a pie, you have crust, but just because you have crust doesn't mean you have pie. That's the analogy. It's simple logic, and I don't see how you guys don't understand it.
You're talking about a curve, the radius value given by the radius, right? Because you say that, everyone knows what you mean. Nobody thinks square when anybody says there's a curvature with the radius of or go and make a radius of this, right? Go and make a curve, an archway with the radius of this. Nobody makes a square fucking arch, do they? You're crazy. Just back down, man. This is ridiculous. You're showing your sophistry. And it's ridiculous because you go into mathematics and geometry to do it. You can't do that.
All right. So what I would say is that Gummy made his final statement. Bev said his. I think we should move on.
Be a good idea.
Yeah. I think there's a tooth over here, Gummy. Pick it up for you. Here you go.
But I like the idea of you doing some logic. I mean, you come in later if you had got any if P then Q's for in a bit.
Hey, what do you call a toothless bear?
How about we delve into
Wow, again, the interruption.
How about we go into the claim someone made earlier that geometry
Right,
isn't a part
I have
of
an
math?
if P then Q statement. Can I give it?
If you wait
Save it for
someone
later,
to
9 o'clock,
speak.
Rob.
Pardon?
So Would we want to delve into the statement someone
Can I
made
give my
earlier?
logical statement? If P, then Q.
Save it for later, Rob. 9 o'clock. Logic.
Bev wants you to save it for later.
It's 11:52, Bev.
I don't think we should downplay that the R value can now belong to any shape. Right?
A
Like this
constant
R value,
R value. A constant R value is that of a sphere. A changing R value will make up whatever the change is defined as. Like if you have a
R value doesn't mean round, right? That's your statement.
Is that an hour from now, Bev?
Yes, just saying R value doesn't say anything about the shape. Saying a constant R value, now that's a sphere.
Well, you don't have a constant R value; it changes. So that's good, though.
Yes, correct.
Yes, I know it changes every day.
It's an
Does
average.
it, does it change anything like a square would change with its R value?
No.
No, because a square doesn't have an R value, does it?
It does.
A constant R value on your model.
It does. It's half the
No, they don't.
What
They don't stand for? It changes.
We don't have a...
That's why I joined these chats, man. I laugh so much out of these people, man.
Yeah.
Because they think they're serious, right? They're smart.
Oh yeah, they have
They
to win
say
the
nonsense
argument
all day long.
They know so little about what the subject matter is they're talking about. They just want to win the argument. So when they say something really stupid, like a square's got an R value, they can't back down from that because they literally have no idea. They're ignorant of the actual geometry, and they don't realize how stupid it is what they're saying.
They lack humility, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. They are not humble enough to say, "Well, I made a mistake. Yeah, now I'm backing down.
Yeah.
Nothing
Absolutely.
happened. There you go. We can move on." But no, you gotta get fixed on this shit, and then you can. It's like the light that keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
You move to something else, and then you gotta bring something from so that you don't lose the whatever.
The next thing you know, you're living on top of a ball.
The next thing you know, you have a real mathematical term, and people are
That's a great point.
The real funny thing is that we've got a real mathematical term that people are denying exists. All right.
Oh, come on. Go on now, dig deeper. Let's go.
Dig deeper? Dig deeper than the
really-
definition?
I still really think we should go back to the conversation of whether geometry is a subset of math or not.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because there was someone who said that it's not
That's
part of
what
math.
you want to argue about, like the two
Yes.
almost equal things that it was never established. What is the higher ranked? That's what you want to decide right now, or what?
Well, someone said earlier that geometry is not part of math.
But
What came first,
both
the
framed
geometry
on
or the
logic,
numbers?
right? Framed on logic.
It's been in
both of
contention
them.
for like thousands of years, man. Like literally.
You think
And
you're
so is
capable of doing that?
or what?
So is geometry part of math or not?
No. I denied that it was a subset. Right? That's what my denial was.
Okay.
It's mathematical, sure. It's logical, to be sure. Yeah.
So how is it not a subset?
I'd say you can use mathematics, the numbers and the arithmetic, in order to use the data that are given by the geometry, right? To find the unknowns. You can use the mathematics in conjunction with the geometry to do a job, right? It's called trigonometry. That's the combination of the two. If you're going to talk about mathematics as being arithmetic, or you're going to talk about mathematics as numbers, I mean, it depends. Where do you want to go with the conversation? Because you have to define these things at the beginning, right? Is it the numbers we're talking about, or is it the actual application of the arithmetic? And you were separating that from geometry, or do you want to group it all together?
To me, geometry is a universal principle, and math is a language used to discuss magnitudes and forms.
So they're separate then?
Okay.
So are they completely separate then? That's what it seems based on what you said.
Math is a language to discuss things like form.
Like really, Gummy Bear, a question, an honest, I mean, the answer to that question, what would that give us? What's your goal here with that question?
My question?
Yeah.
I wasn't the one who originally made a claim about it. I'm just wondering if that's what we want to go back to. Someone else said that it's not, and some people say it is, so I'm not the one making I'm not the one making the claim, I'm just asking.
Okay, you just basically admitted that your question doesn't make any fucking sense and it won't give us any productive conversation.
How do you know that?
Like, can we move on from this?
Claim.
Which is better? Which is higher rank, geometry or mathematics? Like, that's a nonsensical question because, it's just arbitrary altogether. Who the fuck cares? We are using both.
So, Gummy Bear, your interpretation of their answer, where would you like to go from there?
It's not me who wanting to go anywhere. I asked if the room wanted to go back to that thing.
No,
because someone made a claim.
So are you here to obfuscate?
I asked you a question.
I'm not making a claim. What's your problem?
I didn't say you made a claim. I said somebody made a claim. They gave you an answer. So therefore, your interpretation of their answer, where do you want to go from there?
I don't know. Is it up to me to go somewhere?
Well, you always said that when somebody answers you, it's your interpretation of their answer. So therefore, that formulates your next question. So where do you want to go from there?
I don't know. Why don't we talk about pineapple on pizza?
It's a crime.
My girl loves it.
That's good.
Do you like pizza?
On this kind of server? That's a good idea. That's a great idea, Gummy Bear.
If you enjoyed the content, please support On the Level and future projects. Membership subscriptions available now, or come and get involved at Next Level Discord server. Thank you.